Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee. And also once that particular stage is done, then the committee to which the bill is committed shall facilitate public participation and shall take into account the views and recommendations of the public when the committee makes its report to the Senate. Now on your screens, we can see that there is a procession of the speaker making its way through the red carpet, that is the aisle from the speaker's office leading right into the chamber. Ahead of the speaker is the mess, the symbol of authority of the house, and the procession has already made its way or is making its way into the chamber. This is the live broadcast of the Senate. The Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Amason Jeffa Kingi, has made his way into the House. Allow me to hand you over. Good afternoon.
Na tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu, tukusihi tutazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu. Tunakuomba tuwajalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote atakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Clerk, do we have quorum? Sergeant at Arms, kindly ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
So the prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, there is a quorum hitch at the commencement of the sitting of the Senate, and the Speaker has directed that the quorum bell be on. Of course, this is to give room for the members of the Senate to be able to make their way into the chamber and also be able to join their colleagues who are already in the chamber, and most importantly, enable the House raise that much needed quorum for it to be able to commence. As we wait for that, we shall continue to take a look at the business that the Senate shall be transacting this afternoon. The referendum bill originating from the Senate, as I had indicated earlier, is coming up for first reading. Then the Forest Conservation and Management Bill. This is a bill originating from the National Assembly, Bill number 38 of 2025. Is also a bill that is coming up for consideration at the Senate. This is a bill that concerns counties, and hence the need for it to be considered at the Senate. Now, this is a bill that the National Assembly already considered and passed. That is the Forest Conservation and Management Amendment Bill. Basically, the bill seeks to introduce a robust and forward-looking legal framework that is aimed at enhancing sustainable forest management, strengthening regulatory oversight, as well as promoting community participation in conservation efforts. So this is a bill that is also coming up for first reading and will also follow the same procedure, that is public participation as well as consideration at the second reading for debate, in case there are any amendments that the senators will deem right to be able to forward or move regarding this particular bill. Now, you will recall that the Senate had already commenced debate on the division of revenue bill, and this afternoon the bill is also coming up for consideration for the mover to be called to reply. The senators considered this particular bill and was interrupted on the 30th of April, the year 2026, that is last week, Thursday. And this afternoon, the bill is also coming up to progress. During the debate, the senators pushed for the monies that are to be sent to the counties to be increased from the 420 billion Kenya shillings that the National Assembly had proposed in this particular bill. This is a bill that is originating from the National Assembly, but because it concerns counties, has to come to the Senate for consideration as well. The National Assembly had proposed that the counties for the financial year 2026-2027 be given a total of 420 billion shillings to be shared among the 47 counties. However, the senators, in their consideration of this bill, moved that the monies has to be increased to at least 450 billion Kenya shillings, indicating that the 420 billion shillings that the National Assembly had proposed was just a small increase. Remember, during this financial year, the devolved units shared amongst themselves a total of 415 billion Kenya shillings. So senators indicate that the 5 billion Kenya shillings addition is a small amount, and they will be pushing for the monies to be raised to 450 billion Kenya shillings. So this definitely means that this bill will be moving to mediation for those two houses to come to a consensus on how much monies will be going to the counties. There is an amendment that the chairperson Standing Committee on Finance and Budget intends to move regarding the division of revenue bill, and this is to make changes to the allocations that shall be going to the national government as well as the county governments. The total shareable revenue in this particular amendments indicates 2.9 trillion Kenya shillings. The national government to be given 2.4 trillion Kenya shillings, and the county governments to be able to share amongst themselves 454.7 billion Kenya shillings, and equalization fund to be pegged at 10.2 billion Kenya shillings. So this is an amendment that once the House gets to the consideration of the bill at the committee of the whole, the chairperson of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget intends to move basically regarding the monies that should be going to the county governments. If you're just joining us, is that the House about to commence, the sitting of the House about to commence. Currently what is underway is a quorum bell. This is as provided for in the House Standing Order number 40, that at the commencement of the House, if the House has not quorated, then the Speaker shall direct that a 10-minute quorum bell be rung, of course, for the members of the Senate to make their way into the chamber and enable the House attain that much-needed quorum for it to be able to commence. And once that House manages to raise the quorum, then that bell shall be off, of course, for the House to be able to commence, and we shall be waiting to hear from the Speaker to indicate or notify whether the quorum has been attained once that is done, then we shall, without any further delay, hand this business back to you for you to be able to follow on the proceedings of the House. And now this afternoon also pass on to provisions of the House Standing Order number 53, paragraph 1, where senators are able to seek for statements from various standing committees regarding matters that could be relating to county, inter-county, national, regional, or even international concerns this afternoon. All right, the quorum has been attained. Allow me to hand you over.
We do have quorum, and therefore we will proceed with the business of the day. Clerk, kindly call the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Now, Honorable Senators, the Senate, in collaboration with the National Assembly, runs the High School Voluntary Service Scheme, VSS. The program is aimed at providing students with first-hand knowledge on public service, democracy, and devolution. It gives the students an opportunity to learn and gain experience across various directorates in both houses of parliament. Through this program, students engage and familiarize themselves with the practical rules and functions of both houses of parliament. This is achieved by observing House proceedings, learning based workplace practices, understanding legislative processes and policy formulation, and interacting with honorable members and staff of parliament. This enables them to better appreciate the role of parliament and its contribution to devolution and national development. The program targets public, private, and international schools and is conducted during the school holidays when parliament is in session and on occasion when the houses are on recess. The following schools have undertaken and benefited from the program: Starehe Boys Center, Alliance Girls High School, Alliance High School, Strathmore School, Brayside Thika School, Brayman School, Kianda School, Starehe Girls Center, Nginda Girls High School. Nginda Girls High School. Now, Honorable Senators, the program further enables Parliament, and specifically the Senate, to connect with young people, thereby fostering leadership skills among students, encouraging them to remain focused and motivated in their studies, and nurturing a passion for leadership and patriotism. It also deepens the understanding of representation, oversight, legislation, and devolution at both levels of government. Additionally, students from different schools are accorded an opportunity to interact, share experiences, and learn from one another. Honorable Senators, you will recall that during the afternoon sitting of Wednesday, 25th of March 2026, I issued a communication acknowledging a student who was undertaking a one-week service in the Senate under the Voluntary Service Scheme VSS. In the usual Senate tradition, I accorded Senator Edwin Sifuna MP, the Senator for Nairobi City County, an opportunity to welcome the student. After welcoming the student, the Senator requested the Speaker to allow another member of the Nairobi City County delegation to also welcome the student. Senator Karen Nyamu MP, that is Senator Karen Nyamu MP. In the course of our welcoming remarks, the Honorable Senator Nyamu MP made utterances that were disrespectful, inappropriate, and fell short of the standards of decorum and respect expected of members of this House. The utterances made brought embarrassment to the Senate, the student's family, and the public. As honorable senators are aware, the Senate as an institution upholds the dignity of all persons within its precincts, including members of public, staff, and in particular students participating in the programs intended to enhance the understanding of parliamentary processes. The utterances and the conduct exhibited by Senator Nyamu MP on the said date are inconsistent with these values and undermine the integrity and standing of the Senate. Against this background, it has become necessary to address this matter and emphasize that all members must conduct themselves as per the Code of Conduct for State Officers, and in particular, in a manner that reflects honor, dignity, and respect for all persons irrespective of age or status. Now, honorable senators, in this regard, therefore, the senator is required to tender unreserved apology at the earliest opportunity to the Senate, the student, and the student's family, and the public for the distress occasioned by her remarks before being allowed to transact any business in the Senate. To this end, I direct that the office of the clerk immediately communicates the contents of this communication to the senator so that she is guided accordingly. Honorable senators, you may walk in and take your seats. Senator Mwenda Gataya, take your seat, please. Now, honorable senators would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon of a visiting delegation of members of staff in the Department of Research Services of the Parliament of Uganda. The delegation is on a benchmarking engagement on best practices at the Senate. I request each member of the delegation to stand when called out so that you may be acknowledged in the Senate tradition. Mr. Owori Charles, Assistant Director, Research Services. Mr. Ngabirano Herbert, Assistant Director, Research Services. Mr. Akok Peter, Assistant Director, Research Services. Ms. Namazi Sarah, Principal Administrative Assistant. Now, on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to you and wish you a fruitful visit here at the Senate. I'll call upon the Majority Whip under 1 minute to extend a word of welcome. Senator Wakoli, welcome.
Wanajipoindi. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Ningependa kuchukua fursa hii ni lugha ya Afrika Mashariki. Kuna wimbo wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, wimbo wa Kiswahili. Naomba Mheshimiwa Spika kushukuru kwa nafasi hii ambayo umenipa kuweza kuwakaribisha ndugu zetu, kaka zetu katika nchi ya Uganda. Mheshimiwa Spika, Kenya na Uganda tuna mpaka mmoja kutoka kule Budalangi hadi kule Swam, kaunti ya Trans Nzoia. Jamii ya Wasabei kutoka Uganda na Wasaboti wa Kenya, Wabukusu wa Bungoma na Wagisu wa Uganda, Wasamia wa Uganda, Wasamia wa Kenya, Wanyala vile vile wa Budalangi na wale wa Ngambo, Wajaluo wa Kenya na Wajaluo wa Uganda, wote tunashiriki pamoja tamaduni na mila zetu. Na zaidi ya hayo, sisi kwa pamoja tunaunganika kutokana na mustakabali wa Afrika Mashariki. Mwaka uliopita tulikuwa kwenye michezo ya jumuiya kule Kampala, na naamini Mheshimiwa Spika, Wakenya waliburudika, walifurahi. Wengi walirusha roho, wengi wakafanya usuhuba na marafiki, na wanapowatazama nyuso zao Mheshimiwa Spika, nyuso zao zimeng'aa kwa sababu wanakumbuka uhondo na utamu walioshuhudia kule Kampala. Mimi ni kuwakaribisha ndugu zangu, kuwashukuru kwa kura mlizopiga za amani mkachagua viongozi, na sasa katika jumba lenu la bunge mnaongoza taasisi muhimu ambayo wanaendeleza demokrasia katika nchi ya Uganda. Kwa niaba ya ndugu zenu wa Uganda na ndugu zangu wa Kenya kutoka Bungoma na wa Kenya wa Erinjema, nawakaribisha hapa katika jumba la Senate viongozi tajika, viongozi walio na upeo wa hali ya juu wa kisiasa na kiusomi, wale ambao wanaendeleza ubuntu, yani Uafrika. Mimi na wewe tuna ukoo mmoja. Tunawakaribisheni hapa Senate na mujienjoy, muhisi nyumbani, na mnapotoka hapa mwasalimu ndugu zangu waliokule na rais wenu mpendwa Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Tunamtakia maisha mema na wabunge wenzetu walio huko, na inshallah Mungu akipenda tutakutana tuendelee kufurahia matunda ya Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi ulionitunuku. Asante.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Now, honorable senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 46.3 and 4 of the Senate, I have received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the Forest Conservation and Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2025. Now, the message dated Thursday, 30th of April 2026 was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate on the same date. Now, pursuant to Standing Order 46.5, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the Forest Conservation and Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 38 of 2025, was published via Kenya Gazette Supplement number 135 of 8th August 2025 as a bill to amend the Forest Conservation and Management Act by establishing a legal framework relating to forest conservation and management that is in tandem with the modern realities, contemporary global discourse on forestry conservation and management, and Kenya's obligations on the environment, and generally conform to the dictates of the Constitution. And whereas the National Assembly considered the bill and passed it with amendments on Wednesday, 29th of April 2026, and in the form attached hereto, now therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110 of the Constitution and Standing Order 41 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby refer the said bill to the Senate for consideration. Now, pursuant to Standing Order 163, which requires that a bill which originates in the National Assembly be proceeded with by the Senate in the same manner as a bill introduced in the Senate by way of first reading, in accordance with Standing Order 144. Honorable Senators, as you may have noted, the Forest Conservation and Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 38 of 2025, has been listed in today's order paper, and at the appropriate time during this sitting, I will direct the clerk to read the bill a first time. I thank you. Next order, clerk.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statement pursuant to Standing Order 52.1, the Honorable Senator for Elgeyo Marakwet, Senator William Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on a matter of national concern, namely the remarkable and historic environmental achievement by Hilary Kiblagat Kibiward, a distinguished climate action youth leader and founder of the Green Earth Ambassadors Foundation, who on between 11 a.m. on 22nd April, which happened to be my birthday, and 11 a.m. on 23rd April 2026, took up the challenge of planting 23,326 indigenous tree seedlings within 24 hours, surpassing the current Guinness World Record mark. Mr. Speaker, sir, this extraordinary accomplishment achieved at Kesup Forest Station in Elgeyo Marakwet County is not only a personal triumph, but also a moment of immense pride for our nation. By exceeding the previous record of 23,060 trees, Hillary Kiplagat Kibiwot has demonstrated unparalleled determination, resilience, and commitment to environmental conservation and climate action. Mr. Speaker, I wish to sincerely commend and congratulate Mr. Kibiwot for this historic feat. His work goes beyond breaking a record. It represents a powerful call to action in addressing the urgent challenges of climate change, deforestation, and environmental degradation. Planting over 23,000 indigenous seedlings within a single day is a testament to what dedication, discipline, and vision can achieve. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to recognize that this achievement is deeply rooted in a personal journey of transformation and purpose, inspired by his early experiences of witnessing deforestation. Mr. Kibiwot chose to champion environmental restoration, turning a challenge into an opportunity for positive change. Through the Green Earth Ambassadors Foundation, he has for over 8 years mobilized communities, restored degraded landscapes, and protected vital water catchment areas in Elgeyo-Marakwet County and beyond. Mr. Speaker, sir, this initiative aligns strongly with the government's environment agenda, including the ambitious vision of planting over 15 billion trees by 2030 under the leadership of His Excellency, the President Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Mr. Kibiwot's efforts not only support this vision, but also position Kenya as a global leader in grassroots-driven climate action. I also wish to acknowledge the role of local communities, forestry officials, and volunteers who supported this initiative. The collective effort underscores the importance of unity and collaboration in achieving sustainable environmental outcomes. Mr. Speaker, sir, this remarkable achievement serves as an inspiration to the youth of this nation and to the world at large. It proves that individual action, when driven by purpose and commitment, can yield global impact. Mr. Kibiwot's motto, plant trees today, tomorrow, and forever for a better future. It's not just a statement, it's a call to action for all of us. In recognition of this milestone, I urge the government, relevant ministries, and environmental stakeholders to formally support and scale up such initiatives. There is need to invest in youth-led climate action programs, strengthen reforestation efforts, and ensure the sustainability of such impactful projects, including maintaining a high survival rate of planted seedlings. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we celebrate this achievement, let us reaffirm our collective responsibility to protect our environment for present and future generations. I call upon all Kenyans to emulate this example and actively participate in environmental conservation efforts. On behalf of the Senate, I extend my deepest appreciation and recognition to Hillary Kiplagat Kibiwot for his outstanding contribution to environmental conservation and for bringing honor and pride to our nation. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, also for allowing him to sit in the Speaker's gallery. Thank you.
Now, Honorable Senators, Mr. Hillary Kiplagat Kibiwot is present in the Speaker's gallery. Mr. Hillary, you may stand so that the Senate may acknowledge your presence. Statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, Senator for Nandi County, the Honorable Samson Chirangi. That statement is dropped. The Senator had he had one statement. The Senator for Nairobi City County, the Honorable Edwin Sifuna.
Speaker, with your permission, just allow me to thank you for that communication that you've made regarding the incident involving the young lady, Miss Murimi, from Briber and Garden Estate. As the head of delegation, I also take responsibility. And I learned my lesson, Speaker. I should be following your guidance. Because sometimes we try to mentor and provide opportunity for our colleagues to also speak. And you've heard them repeatedly saying gender, Speaker. So when we give that opportunity, we wanted her to inspire the little girl. But I want to also inform you, Mr. Speaker, that I had a conversation with her. And the communication that you have had today is quite good for the House. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labour and Social Welfare on a matter of national concern regarding an emerging trend in both the public service and the private sector where statutory and other deductions are made from employee salaries but are not remitted to the relevant agencies. Mr. Speaker, this malpractice has undermined the welfare of employees across the country. Many workers seeking health services, including through the Social Health Authority, attempting to access SACCO loans from their cooperative societies or claiming retirement benefits, discover that their contributions have not been remitted, leaving them unable to access services or funds despite years of faithful, dedicated service. For instance, Honorable Speaker, over 2,000 employees of King's Cleaners in Mombasa have petitioned my office over failure to remit their statutory contributions, a situation that has severely affected their livelihoods and denied them medical access. Same situation, Honorable Speaker, faces former employees of Nairobi City Water Services Company. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the measures being taken by the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection to address the perennial issue of unremitted statutory and salary deductions across both public and private sectors, the current situation of unremitted deductions within the public service, including the sectors most affected, and the remedial plan to regularize employee remittances. And lastly, Speaker, the accountability mechanisms in place to ensure that employees who deduct but fail to remit employee contributions are investigated, sanctioned, and compelled to comply. Thank you, Speaker.
Senator from Busia County, the Honorable Andrew Mtata.
Excuse me. Mr. Speaker, sir, I have a request for a statement on the governance, utilization, and protection of public land held by Agricultural Development Corporation across the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53 Clause 1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries on a matter of national concern regarding governance, utilization, and protection of public land held by the Agricultural Development Corporation, ADC, across the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Agricultural Development Corporation was established to manage public agricultural land for purposes including food production, livestock development, agricultural research, and settlement support. Over the years, despite successive government interventions and audit, concerns continue to arise regarding the status and management of ADC land in various parts of the country, including Galana Kulalu, Magarini, Trans Nzoia, and Naivasha, where land held for public agricultural purposes has been affected by encroachment, irregular allocation, disputed ownership, and underutilization. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the location and parcel numbers of all land owned, leased, managed, or previously held by ADC across the country, including the acreage, location, tenure status, and current use of each parcel. 2, the status of all reported, investigated, and confirmed cases of irregular allocation, transfer, lease, or occupation of ADC land, including the persons, companies, or entities involved, the circumstances under which the land was allocated or transferred, and the action taken by relevant government agencies. 3. The number of government-funded projects and public-private partnership projects undertaken on ADC land, including the Galana Kulalu Food Security Project, indicating the objectives, budgetary allocations, implementing agencies, current status, outcomes, and challenges encountered. 4. The measures taken by the government to repossess, restore, or secure any ADC land found to have been illegally or irregularly acquired, including the status of investigations, prosecutions, or recovery proceedings by relevant agencies. 5. The governance structure of the ADC, measures in place to protect its land assets from further encroachment or mismanagement, steps taken to digitalize land records, and the manner in which ADC land is currently benefiting local communities and the public. Dated 28 April 2026, signed Senator Andrew Mtato Koiti. Mr. Speaker, second statement I seek indulgence.
You may proceed, Honorable Senator.
Request for a statement on illegal alienation and non-restoration of land reserved for a public market in Mukuru kwa Njenga, Embakasi South, Nairobi City County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, Clause 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Lands, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the continued alienation and land restoration of land LR number 209/12-678, originally reserved for a public market at Mukuru kwa Njenga, Embakasi South. Mr. Speaker, sir, this land was designated for public use under an approved part development plan in 1986, but was later irregularly allocated to private interests and subjected to informal subdivision and occupation. The National Land Commission is reported to have reviewed the matter, affirmed its public status, and directed revocation of title. However, these directives remain unimplemented, exposing the land to further encroachment and possible permanent loss. In the statement, the committee should address the following: whether the land was legally designated as public utility land for a market under PDP number 42.28.86 of 1986, and whether it was ever lawfully available for private allocation. Number 2, the circumstances under which LR number 209/12678 was created and allocated, the identity of the original allotee and the subsequent transferees, and whether due process was followed. 3, the official determination of the National Land Commission on this parcel, including directives issued and reasons for non-implementation. 4, the current legal and physical status of the land, measures to prevent further encroachment, and plans to restore it to its intended public purpose. 5, the impact of the absence of a designated market on local traders and livelihoods, and whether the government intends to develop a community market for residents. 6, steps taken to hold accountable any public officers involved in irregular allocation of land or failure to enforce lawful directives. Signed, Senator Andrew Mtato Koiti, MP from Busia County, Senator from Busia County, dated 29th April 2026. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator George Mbogo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of national concern regarding the implementation status of the 5% employment quota for persons with disabilities in the public service. Mr. Speaker, sir, Article 54(2) of the Constitution of Kenya and the Persons with Disabilities Act 2025 require the state to progressively ensure that at least 5% of the members of the public and appointive bodies are persons with disabilities. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the current percentages of persons with disabilities employed across ministries, state departments, state corporations, and other public institutions, disaggregated by institution, job cadre, gender, and county. And number 2, the challenges hindering the attainment of the 5% employment threshold for persons with disabilities in the public service and the measures in place to address them. Number 3, whether the public institutions are required to submit periodic reports on disability inclusion in employment and the level of compliance with this requirement to date. And number 4, the corrective actions, policy reforms, capacity building initiatives, and the enforcement mechanism the ministry has put in place to address the identified gaps and accelerate the attainment of the required threshold. And number 5, clear government targets for the full realization of the 5% employment requirements across the public sector. Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, I have the second statement.
You may proceed, Honorable Senator.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to standing under 53(1) to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism concerning the milk price stabilization program. In the statement, the committee should address the following. The total amount of funds allocated to New Kenya Cooperative Creameries, New KCC, from the Exchequer for the milk price stabilization program during the past 2 financial years, that is 2024-25 and 2025-26. And number 2, the total amount expended on the purchase of excess milk, including the volume in liters procured and the breakdown of the constituencies from which the milk was sourced. And number 3, the prices at which New KCC purchased milk from farmers during financial year 2024-25 and 2025-26. And number 4, the total amount of money owed by New KCC to farmers as arrears for milk already delivered as at 10th March 2026. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Kajiado County, the Honorable Seki Olekana.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Request for a statement on the environmental pollution by emerging industries along the Kitengela-Namanga Road corridor in Kajiado County. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53(1) to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Lands, Environment and National Resources on the matter of county-wide concern regarding the rapid emergency of industries in Kajiado County, particularly along the Kitengela-Namanga Road corridor, and the attendance concerns related to environmental pollution. Honorable Speaker, in recent years, Kajiado County has experienced a notable influx of industries, establishment and agricultural enterprises, including flower farms, along the corridor. While this development contributes to economic growth and investment, it has raised concerns, serious concerns among residents regarding environmental degradation, as well as the adequacy of safeguards to protect public health and ecosystem. In the statement, the committee should address the following. The measures taken by the National Environmental Management Authority, NEMA, to regulate and monitor pollution levels arising from industries along the Kitengela-Namanga Road corridor. The number and details of all industries operating in the area, including entities that have complied with environmental impact assessment requirements and obtained the necessary approvals, and that have not. The action brings the action being taken to curb the environmental pollutions and ensures sustainable environmental management in the affected areas. For whether the regular environmental audit and inspections are conducted, and the nature of penalties exposed on industries found to be violating the environmental standards. The safeguards in place to protect local communities from adverse health and environmental affected associated within industrial activities in the region. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator for Mombasa County, the Honorable Mohamed Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii. Mheshimiwa Spika, nimesimama kuambatana na kanuni ya 53(1) ya kanuni za kudumu za Bunge la Senate kuomba kauli kutoka kwa kamati ya ardhi, mazingira na mali asili kuhusu hatua za bodi ya udhibiti wa huduma za maji WASREB kuiweka kampuni ya ugavi wa maji na usafi wa maji Mombasa MOWASCO chini ya utaratibu maalum wa udhibiti. Mheshimiwa Spika, mnamo tarehe 21 mwezi wa 4 Aprili mwaka huu, bodi ya udhibiti wa huduma za maji WASREB iliweka kampuni ya ugavi na usafi wa maji ya Mombasa MOWASCO chini ya utaratibu maalum wa udhibiti kwa kipindi cha miezi 6 kwa mujibu wa kifungu cha 101 cha sheria ya maji ya mwaka 2016 kwa madai ya kuboresha utoaji wa huduma kwa wakazi wa Mombasa. Hatua hii imezua mtafaruku katika kampuni hiyo na miongoni mwa wakazi wa Mombasa ambao hutegemea huduma muhimu kutoka kwa usambazaji maji. Mheshimiwa Spika, katika kauli hiyo kamati izingatia yafuatayo: sababu zilizochangia kuchukuliwa kwa hatua ya kuitia kampuni ya ugavi na usafi wa maji Mombasa MOWASCO chini ya utaratibu maalum wa udhibiti kwa muda wa miezi 6, na iwapo WASREB ilitoa nafasi kwa kampuni hiyo kurekebisha hitilafu kabla ya kutoa hatua hiyo. Pili, hatua zinazochukuliwa na mkurugenzi wa WASREB kusuluhisha tatizo hilo na ili kuhakikisha wakazi wa Mombasa wanaendelea kupata huduma za usambazaji maji bila usumbufu. Na tatu, mikakati iliyowekwa kuboresha utendakazi wa MOWASCO na kuhakikisha huduma endelevu kwa wananchi wa Mombasa. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii.
Thank you, Honorable Senators. I will allow comments for not more than 15 minutes. And therefore, if you get an opportunity to speak, kindly do so for not more than 3 minutes. The Honorable Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to comment. I would like to comment on Senator Seki's request for statement. Mr. Speaker, not only just is county, but quite a number of places in the country, Mr. Speaker, where town planning or planning for particularly for making sure that environmental conservation is managed. Mr. Speaker, you find that in a lot of places, industries are mixed with the settlement, Mr. Speaker. And a lot of times, Mr. Speaker, there are emissions from industry which are not properly managed. And Mr. Speaker, this happened one time in Uhuru Owino area in Mombasa. The residents got affected, got poisoned. They went to court, Mr. Speaker, up to Supreme Court. They were awarded 1.3 billion shillings, but the monies were never paid and the environmental situation was never rectified. Mr. Speaker, this should not be replayed in other parts of the country so that, Mr. Speaker, we conserve environment and protect the poisoning of citizens, Mr. Speaker, so that there must be proper, and we have given the Department of Environment enough finances and enough law to manage this, Mr. Speaker, but unfortunately it has not been, it has not been fulfilled. And that continues to see rivers in Nairobi poisoned, rivers in Kajiado poisoned. The rivers in Nairobi go to Athi River, where there is Twake Dam, which has not been completed. It's poisoned all the way to Kilifi, Mr. Speaker, and to the ocean. Really, Mr. Speaker, during this request for statement, we need to revisit the whole area so that it can be well with many Kenyans. So thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
The Honorable Senator Mungatana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the floor. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to address the question of deducted monies from employees, but failure by entities to give those contributions to the relevant agencies. Mr. Speaker, the Senate Public Accounts Committee report, Volume 3 of 2026, reveals that Tana River County owes its employees 546 million in terms of remitted deductions in its pensions deductions. Mr. Speaker, I would request the committee that will be dealing with this matter, the Labour Committee, Mr. Speaker, during the interrogation of this statement, to call upon the governor of Tana River to come and tell us why has he not complied with the directive that he should regularize the payment of the unremitted amounts of monies that has been deducted from the workers and has not been remitted, especially, Mr. Speaker, on pensions. Mr. Speaker, the worry is that misappropriation of these funds or misallocation of these funds may occur because it is still within the control of the county revenue fund. Mr. Speaker, I urge that the committee also spreads its wings to Tana River County and interrogates this with the aim of helping our workers who are suffering the deductions without the contributions being remitted. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Eddie Okech. Senator Eddie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to quickly contribute on the statement by the Senator of Nairobi, Senator Sifuna, on the status of unlimited statutory deductions and actually salary deductions, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is an issue that we have really struggled with, even in CPIC. We have had a number of times, especially in our counties, a number of times that the biggest chunk of the pending bills that we're experiencing in CPIC are pending bills that have accrued from non-remittances of these deductions. And Mr. Speaker, the worst part is that now they are piling to be a major stumbling block to budgeting in counties because of the fact that they also come with fines. So in instances where you look at NSSF, there are fines that have been there. We actually did form a committee in CPIC with the National Treasury, Mr. Speaker, and my biggest worry is that the National Treasury does not respond to even some of these committees that we have formed with them. Because we formed this committee sometimes last year to be able to help the counties with this burden on their on their pending bill issues, Mr. Speaker. But even since that time that we formed this committee with the National Treasury, we haven't made any headways. So I think, Mr. Speaker, it is very important that perhaps this House revisits this thing, not only from the Committee on Labor and Social Welfare, but I think this should be a substantive motion in this House, because it's actually a crisis in the counties. And, Mr. Speaker, some of the people that end up suffering, Mr. Speaker, are people with meager earnings in the counties. You know, salaries of sometimes 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, 50,000. And then you wake up one day to go to claim even your share, and you can't get it, Mr. Speaker. So I wanted to urge that even as we have the Committee of Labor and Social Welfare going to deal with this particular issue, perhaps they can collect some ideas and consolidate with what sometimes looks like what Senator Thangwa did with the motion on education and motion on bursaries. Perhaps we should bring together a motion that consolidates ideas from CPIC and from this particular committee, so that we can have a substantive motion on interrogating, and perhaps even we need to have a special committee from the Senate, Mr. Speaker, to actually just deal with this issue, because it's a crisis in all counties, and it's...
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to make comments on the statement by Senator Mbukwa on the milk stabilization fund. Honorable Speaker, as dairy farmers across the country, especially those who are delivering milk to KCC, new KCC, are suffering, Honorable Speaker, because the government came up with the stabilization pricing to ensure every farmer gets at least 50 shillings per kilo of milk. But in the recent past, I don't know what has happened, because, Honorable Speaker, farmers have gone as far as 4 or 5 months without being paid by new KCC. And this is a commodity that is sold by the farmers to KCC. It doesn't stay in the store or whatever. It is sold. After processing it, they are sold immediately to the consumers. And I believe new KCC should be selling, and the top-up price they are getting from National Treasury or from the national government, you should be getting regularly, so that farmers can sustain the dairy farming, and at the same time, Honorable Speaker, they buy feed. The dairy feed is very expensive, because some of the feeds are imported from Uganda and neighboring countries, and farmers have been struggling to be paid. Sometimes when farmers go as 3 months, 4 months, they are unable to buy feed. Basically, it means also production of the milk goes down, which eventually will affect the farmers' production and also income to them, Honorable Speaker. This is something that the committee needs to move with speed and report to the House, so that soon the budget has already been tabled in National Assembly. So we want to see in that budget that there is enough resources to top up between the price that KCC is quoting and what has been promised as minimum take home 50 shillings per kilo. This is very important, Honorable Speaker. And then finally, Honorable Speaker, is the non-remittance of deductions. The county governments are very notorious, Honorable Speaker, in deducting the SACCO deductions. They deduct loans from employees, but they don't remit to the third party, Honorable Speaker. But most of the employees across the counties are already blacklisted in CRP, and these are people who have already they've earned, the deductions have been deducted, but the counties are not remitting. This is something that we need to interrogate, and as my colleague Senator Idea said, in CIPIC, we formed a task force with National Treasury and also the LAP Fund and LAP Trust and NSSF. And then along the way, I think the committee timeline expired. I believe we need to revise.
Senator Muma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to contribute to Senator Sifuna's statement about statutory remittances. Not just mainly by county governments. Honorable Speaker, this issue has been raised a few times by PAC, and it has come up in most of our committees. I would want to raise a proposal, Honorable Speaker, that as the Senate, we should collectively take on the issue of pitching, or not pitching, actually holding all counties accountable to the payment of all statutory deductions. Because statutory deductions are not monies of the county that are being held by the governors. These are monies that belong to the employees. You can imagine somebody who retires and then they are not able to access their pensions because there were no remittances. You can imagine somebody who goes to be treated and finds that deductions being made are not being remitted. You can imagine somebody contributing towards housing or whatever, any other, to find that those monies are not actually being remitted. I think as a Senate, if we don't address this as a special issue, we will be failing in our responsibility to take care of the very system that is enabling governance to actually happen in this country. It is the public servants, both in the county and in the national government, that are actually getting the systems going. And if we don't hold the governments and ourselves accountable to ensuring that what belongs to the workers actually goes back to the workers, we will be failing. I am suggesting, therefore, that this issue be dealt with not piecemeal, relating to a particular cadre of workers in a particular county, but we should hold all 47 counties accountable and give a deadline within which all statutory remittances that are due should be submitted. That, if we do that, we will have done our responsible task of ensuring that accountability begins by taking care of the very people who are running this country.
Senator Wakoli.
Thank you. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii kuweza kuchangia hoja ambazo senators wenzangu wameweza kuibua. Mheshimiwa Spika, ningeweza kuchangia Mheshimiwa Spika hoja ya maziwa ama kiwanda cha KCC ambacho kimekuwa kikipokea maziwa ya wakulima kwa muda mrefu. Wakulima wameona maziwa yao kwenye soko mbalimbali, lakini wamengoja katika benki zao waone fedha zikionekana, na mpaka sasa Mheshimiwa Spika ni kitendawili. Jambo ambalo ningependa kurai serikali ni kwamba wakulima hawa wanapodai haki yao ya pesa za ng'ombe ama maziwa yanayokamuliwa kwa ng'ombe zao, Wakenya wa sehemu mbalimbali bado wanauliza. KCC hii imetambulika katika maeneo machache Kenya hii, lakini maeneo mengine Mheshimiwa Spika ni tumeyaona tu maziwa wakati wa siku za Nyayo. Ndio tulikuwa tunaona vijikaratasi vya KCC tukifurahia maziwa ya Nyayo. Swali tunalouliza Mheshimiwa Spika, taasisi hii ya KCC inamnufaisha nani, kwa mfano katika mkoa wa Magharibi? Mimi kama seneta wa Bungoma Mheshimiwa Spika, niko na halmashauri zaidi ya 20 za wakulima wa ng'ombe wa maziwa. Na Wakenya, watu wa Bungoma wananisikiza kwa makini Mheshimiwa Spika. Halmashauri ya Kitinda, halmashauri ya Kikai kule na Mwela, halmashauri ya Chwele Dairy, halmashauri ya Kaptama, Nomorio kule Mlima Elgon, Ndalu, Tongaren, Nadafa pale Naitiri, Kimesembe kule Mbakalu, Kamkuywa, Bumula Dairy pale Sokoni, Kabula Dairy, Bukembe. Wote hawa Mheshimiwa Spika wanauliza fedha hizi ambazo tunawatetea wakulima wa KCC, sisi watu wa Bungoma tutaona hizi fedha siku gani? Kwa sababu mgao huu unatoka katika mkoba wa serikali. Wakenya wote wanachangia wakulima hawa walipwe pesa nzuri. Haya, sisi watu wa Bungoma tunaochangia tutaona hizi fedha kivipi? Lazima KCC igatuliwe. Pia sisi wakulima wetu katika halmashauri hizi, wakulima wapate pesa zinazofanana na Wakenya wengine. Sisi wote tunaangaziwa na jua, mwezi na nyota. Hata tunasema fedha zinapaswa kufika katika akaunti zetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kuchangia hoja ya mazingira kutoka kwa seneta mwenzangu. Mazingira ni uti wa uhai wa Wakenya. Hapa Nairobi, mto Nairobi, watu wamekuwa wanauza mboga, lakini wadadisi wanasema chunga, kwa sababu huenda maji yanayotumiwa kunyunyiza mboga na
1 minute to conclude your thoughts.
Shukuru Mheshimiwa Spika. Halmashauri ya NEMA lazima ifanye kazi yao. Iwe Kajiado, iwe Bungoma, iwe Nairobi, stakabadhi hizi zionekane ili tujiepushe na majanga kama ya kansa ambayo yanakumba Wakenya Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mwisho nikichangia kwamba wakulima ama wafanyakazi wa kaunti ni donda sugu Mheshimiwa Spika. Lazima tubuni kamati iangazie masuala haya. Hawa magavana hawana huruma kwa wafanyikazi. Watu wamestaafu, watu wamefutwa kazi, wakienda kuangalia NSSF pesa hazilipi. Wanapotafuta pesa za kustaafu, pesa hazipo. Na ukipiga kurunzi miaka mingi nyuma, wote wamejua hawajakuwa wakilipa, na wakija hapa Senate wamekausha tu macho, Mheshimiwa Spika, kama mmoja wale wafuasi wezi waliokuwa kwenye msalaba. Mheshimiwa Spika, lazima hawa magavana waajibike. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Senator Omtata.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would like to contribute to the statement on non-remittance of statutory deductions. Mr. Speaker, sir, statutory deductions are a matter of law. It is a law that demands that this monies be deducted and remitted. Those who fail to do so breach the law, and I don't see why action is not taken against them, as people are breaching the law. We have tended to handle them with kid gloves, and that's why I think the problem is becoming, the issue is a runaway problem. I would suggest that some of these matters are taken up by law enforcement, and these officers are dealt with accordingly. But also, to play the devil's advocate for a brief moment, Mr. Speaker, sir, some of this failure to remit deductions is also caused by the National Treasury, which delays in releasing funds to counties. There are some genuine cases whereby the monies come late, and they find that a lot of penalties have been incurred and are not enough to pay the remittances. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, it's an issue of law enforcement that should also affect the Treasury, where the Treasury delays to release money to county governments according to the law. Necessary sanctions should take place. Otherwise, we are punishing innocent people who are suffering. They can't service their loans, they can't service other obligations, and county governments end up with huge bills in terms of fines. So, Mr. Speaker, as a matter of law enforcement, I pray that this House takes action and ensures that the law is upheld as regards statutory deductions. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Now, honorable senators, we have exhausted the 15 minutes allocated to this session. We'll now move to the next order. Clerk, kindly call the next order.
Order number 8, the referendum bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2026. First reading, a bill for an act of parliament to provide for the conduct of a referendum and for connected purposes. Order number 9, the Forest Conservation and Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 38 of 2025. First reading, a bill for an act of parliament to amend the Forest Conservation and Management Act and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 10, the Division of Revenue Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2026. Second reading. Mover to reply.
Senator Roba, you may proceed to reply.
Mr. Speaker, I move to reply, and I wish to take this opportunity to thank all the senators who contributed with commitment in support of devolution to this Division of Revenue Bill in support of what is proposed by the committee. Mr. Speaker, just as a recap of what has emerged is the bill contains 2.9 trillion shilling to be shared between the national and county government, where the bill as passed by the National Assembly proposes 2.47 trillion, which is 85.17, to be shared, to be the share of national government, and county government to receive 420 billion, which is 14.47, Mr. Speaker, and equalization fund to be allocated 10.25. Mr. Speaker, the committee has managed to dissect that and shared that the 5 billion increase from 415 of the previous financial year is not even adequate to meet the, the wage drift within the IPPD system, which is non-discretionary adjustment that happens annually. And in the wisdom of the committee, Mr. Speaker, based on the information that was shared by National Treasury, Mr. Speaker, the residual amount that after taking care of national government commitment was 330 billion, from where the committee proposes only 11% of that, which amounts to 39 billion, to be added onto the county government, bringing the county government share to 554 billion as proposed. And Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank the Senate for their wisdom to support the proposal by the Committee of Finance and Budget based on inflationary figure of about 5% increase plus non-discretionary expenditures, including 2 SRC circulars that were meant to be implemented by county government. Mr. Speaker, from the discussion, what has come out is the major risks identified by the Senate are the issues that relate to delayed disbursement causing cash flow constraint, revenue shortfalls through transfers not done in timely manner, removal of protective clause exposing counties to funding uncertainty in that bill. And Mr. Speaker, the proposal by the committee was also supported by various stakeholders that the committee, consulted with. Mr. Speaker, the most critical issue, there are 2 critical issues that have come out that the House has also agreed with the Senate. That is 8.94 billion shilling meant for UHC payroll of transferred workers where funds fall off function was erroneously put in division of revenue that only governs the vertical share of revenue between the national and county government, but does not touch on horizontal share of revenue. In the wisdom of the committee, we propose that money be moved to county additional allocation so that then the applicable personnel under each county can be adequately given the payroll support required from the 8.94 billion. Mr. Speaker, the second critical issue is the removal of a clause that shields the revenue uncertainties, that in the event of revenue shortfall, the shortfall should be borne by the national government. The National Assembly has removed that clause that has been traditionally there, and we propose that to be added, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, other than that, it is the commitment of this House, the Senate of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker, that in our commitment and solidarity to support devolution, where the Senate is required to play its role in making sure devolution is protected and funds allocation to devolve units need to increase as funds allocation to national government increases. These continuously demonstrate the commitment of the Senate to protect devolution. Mr. Speaker, that also, by doing that, we get the moral mandate to be able to critique or criticize our county governments when they do not provide the services commensurate to the monies they receive. Mr. Speaker, I beg to reply and now request, in line with Standing Order 663, 666, subsection 3, that the putting of the question be deferred to a later date due to quorum. Mr. Speaker, I reply.
Senator Roba, you may have to make a further request.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to reply and request Senator Faki to second.
No. You are supposed to, you've already done that. Okay, so then we will defer the putting of the question. Now, honorable senators, allow me at this juncture to rearrange today's order paper. We will move to prosecute order number 19 and thereafter resume the normal flow of today's order paper. Clerk, you may proceed.
Order number 19, motion, approval of sittings of the Senate to be held in Kilifi County.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that aware that the Senate of Kenya is established under Article 93 of the Constitution and its main role, as set out at Article 96, is to represent, serve, and protect the interests of the counties and their governments. Further aware of the critical role that the Senate plays in the interlinkage between the national and county levels of government, and the need to enhance the interaction between the Senate and the county governments as a means of bringing the Senate closer to the counties and the general public. Acknowledging the recommendation of the Senate Business Committee that a sitting of the Senate be held away from the traditional premises in the Parliament buildings, Nairobi, during the term of the 13th Parliament, and the subsequent resolution of the Senate made on 8th March 2023 to hold plenary and committee sittings in the counties for a one-week period within the month of September in every season of the 4th Senate, except during an election year, with the objective to, 1, promote the role and work of the Senate and enhance public awareness regarding the business of the Senate and Parliament in general. 2, highlight existing and new opportunities for engagement in legislative process. 3, develop and strengthen partnerships at the county level of government. And 4, provide an opportunity to members and staff of county assemblies to learn and share best practices with senators and parliamentary officers. Further acknowledging the successes made during the previous sittings of the Senate outside Nairobi held in Uasin Gishu, Kitui, Turkana, and Busia counties in 2018, 2019, 2023, and 2025 respectively. Now therefore, pursuant to Article 126(1) of the Constitution, the Senate resolves to hold its plenary and committee sittings in Kilifi County from 21st to 25th September 2026. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I submit. And I beg to move I request, because I'm seeing the only lady in the House on the majority side, Senator Veronica, to second. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, let me correct that there is Senator S in the House. She's also on the majority side. But I want to take this opportunity to thank Senator Wakoli, our whip, for ably moving that motion that Senate considers moving down to Kilifi County to run its business for a week. in line with Article 126, 1 of the Constitution. And Honorable Speaker, it is important that the work we do as senators becomes relevant to the people, and there are many people, many Kenyans who are not able to come to Nairobi, where the seat of Senate is or the seat of Parliament is, to partake of live proceedings of what happens in Senate. And since Senate is a guardian of the devolution, Honorable Speaker, the best way that Senate can connect with the residents of Kenya is to constantly go down to where the people are at the grassroots level, have a perspective that is grounded and that has a best interest of the citizens at heart, and also get to see the projects that are being implemented by county governments, Honorable Speaker. And as you may well be aware, we have had many counties purporting to implement projects which, if they are inspected by the senators or there is oversight being done by senators, we might as well find that those projects are not having the kind of quality they should be carrying, and even they are not even done in some counties, yet expenditures have already rolled out, Honorable Speaker. So I rise to support this motion and to say that, in fact, if it was possible, Honorable Speaker, we would even do it twice in an year. But because the budget constraints would not allow us to be able to sit in different counties within the course of the year, so that we can have the accountability process running together with the governance system, then it is in order that at least there is that good effort to go down to the county. And no better county, Honorable Speaker, like Kilifi County. Kilifi is a beautiful county. I can only say it is second to Murang'a County, because Murang'a retains the best county. It is the one that is now, right now, offering best practice, Honorable Speaker, to other governors. I saw Governor Otchilo in Murang'a being taken through some apps within Murang'a County by Governor Irungu Kang'ata, and we welcome all the governors to come to Murang'a and learn a few things about how to implement projects in agriculture, implement projects in healthcare sector, and many other things that you can learn from Murang'a and find the beautiful people of Murang'a and connect with them. So, Honorable Speaker, I love the Kilifi County, and Honorable Speaker, you come from Kilifi County, and you served as a governor of Kilifi County, one of the best counties in this republic, Honorable Speaker. It's a coastal county, having a lot of resources within the blue economy, and I believe all the senators who have not experienced massive waters, the blue economy, the great seas and the oceans, Honorable Speaker, like Senator Boni Halwale, who have only seen the water in a bucket when they are taking a shower, can then now have an opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to experience the beauty of this land of Kenya from the Indian Ocean, Honorable Speaker. And I want to ask the committee that is planning for this Senate Mashinani to consider that the senators will have an opportunity to board a ship or a dhow or some water vessel, some watercraft, and experience how it is to survive in the 48th county, that is the seas and the blue economy sector, and to also ask us while they are taking up that voyage, Honorable Speaker, whether it's a dinner or whether it's a study tour within the ocean, to ask us what is the meaning of territorial sea, to ask us how far that territorial sea moves into the ocean, to ask us about the maritime domains, Honorable Speaker, and issues that touch on maritime governance and how we can ensure that we can harness the resources within the blue economy and within the maritime zone, so that we will not have these kind of answers that we had one time when a lady was being interviewed to take up a job within the Kilifi County. And when she was asked what blue economy was, she said it is about the blue skies. Nobody should confuse blue economy with the blue skies. Honorable Boni Halwale, Senator Boni Halwale, blue economy is about the seas and the oceans. So this Senate machinani will really help also the senators to advance their understanding of what the maritime domain stands for. Honorable Speaker, in that same Senate machinani, we talk about the contiguous zone and the exclusive economic zones within the maritime sector. I will happily take the senators through that course as we partner together with other experts in the maritime domain, the blue economy domain. And with those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I wish to second and
point
look
of order,
forward.
Senator? What is your point of order?
What is your...
Thanks for your indulgence. As a Speaker, standing on point of order number 105, granted that Senator Veronica might be having an afternoon crush on me, is she in order, Mr. Speaker, to suggest that I don't know what blue economy is?
Senator Boni Halwale, first withdraw that unparliamentary statement that your colleague could have a crush on you in the chamber. Kindly withdraw that. Then I'll deal with the second prayer that you've...
Mr. Speaker, because of the respect I give you, I withdraw, but wish to clarify that the crash was occasioned by the fact that she didn't just comment on me once. She's done it severally, which is the medical characteristics of a crash.
Senator Boni, maybe it is out of hatred. Someone could see it that way. Senator Veronica, the good doctor, has deep knowledge on blue economy. That I can attest.
Very well, I stand guided and I want to...
Senator Veronica, you had concluded seconding the motion?
Yes.
So allow me to propose the question.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Now, honorable senators are now propose the question. They are aware that the Senate of Kenya is established under Article 93 of the Constitution, and its main role as set out at Article 96 is to represent, serve and protect the interests of the counties and their governments. Further, aware of the critical role that the Senate plays in linkage between the national and county levels of government, and the need to enhance the interaction between the Senate and the county governments as a means of bringing the Senate closer to the counties and the general public, acknowledging the recommendation of the Senate Business Committee that a sitting of the Senate be held away from the traditional premises in Parliament buildings in Nairobi during the term of the 13th Parliament, and the subsequent resolution of the Senate made on 8th of March 2023 to hold plenary and committee sittings in the counties for a one-week period within the month of September in every session of the 4th Senate, except during an election year, with the objective to, 1, promote the role and work of the Senate and enhance public awareness regarding the business of the Senate and Parliament in general. 2, highlight existing and new opportunities for engagement in the legislative process. 3, develop and strengthen partnerships at the county level of government. And 4, provide an opportunity to members and staff of the county assemblies to learn and share best practices with senators and parliamentary officers. Further, acknowledging the successes made during previous sittings of the Senate outside Nairobi, held in Uasin Gishu, Kitui, Turkana, and Busia counties in 2018, 2019, 2023, and 2025 respectively. Now, therefore, pursuant to Article 126(1) of the Constitution, the Senate resolves to hold its plenary and committee sittings in Kilifi County from 21st to 25th September 2026. Now, honorable senators, this is rather procedural. The floor is open for debate. With your concurrence, you may allow me to put the question so that we dispense with this particular motion, or we may allow members to debate this motion. Do I have your concurrence that I put the question?
Yes.
Thank you. So, honorable senators, I will now proceed to put the question. They're aware that the Senate of Kenya is established under Article 93 of the Constitution, and its main rule, as set out at Article 96, is to represent, serve, and protect the interests of the counties and their governments. Further, aware of the critical role that the Senate plays in the interlinkage between the national and county levels of government, and the need to enhance the interaction between the Senate and county governments as a means of bringing the Senate closer to the counties and the general public, acknowledging the recommendation of the Senate Business Committee that a sitting of the Senate be held away from the traditional premises in Parliament buildings, Nairobi, during the time of the 13th Parliament, and the subsequent resolution of the Senate made on 8th March 2023 to hold plenary and committee sittings in the counties for a one-week period within the month of September in every session of the 4th Senate, except during an election year, with the objective to 1, promote the role and work of the Senate and enhance public awareness regarding the business of the Senate and Parliament in general. 2, highlight existing and new opportunities for engagement in the legislative processes. 3, develop and strengthen partnerships at the county level of government and provide an opportunity to members and staff of the county assemblies to learn and share best practices with senators and parliamentary officers. Further, acknowledging the successes made during the previous sittings of the Senate outside Nairobi, held in Uasin Gishu, Kitui, Turkana, and Busia counties in 2018, 2019, 2023, and 2025 respectively. Now, therefore, pursuant to Article 126(1) of the Constitution, the Senate resolved to hold its plenary and committee sittings in Kilifi County from 21st to the 25th of September 2026. Before I pose the question, just allow me to consult the clerk on a procedural issue. Having ascertained that we have the requisite quorum, I will now proceed. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Senator Veronica, kindly approach the chair. Now, we will proceed to order number 17, honorable senators, and thereafter we will see if we can assume the natural flow of today's order paper. Clerk, you may proceed to call that order.
Order number 17, the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 1 of 2024, second reading.
Senator from Meru County.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, Madam Speaker, allow me to move this motion, the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 1 of 2024. Madam Speaker, I want to start by giving some background on what Mira has done to the economy of our country. And Madam Speaker, can you protect me from my second of the motion, which is just binding me?
Honorable members, can the Honorable Senator be heard in silence, please? Consult in low tones.
So, Madam Speaker, I want to give some brief background on why Mira is an important cash crop in Kenya. And Madam Speaker, Mira is an important cash crop in Meru County, which is particularly Nyambene region and to a large extent in the Republic of Kenya. And it is estimated that it is grown in an area covering 22,000 hectares of land and benefits more than 500,000 people, either directly or indirectly, who are engaged in production, packaging, transportation, and other trade activities. And before Mira was banned in European countries, Mira contributed Kenya sharing 7.2 billion to Kenya's national GDP. So this proposed amendment, for the interest of the members, the bill intends to amend the Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Control Act to remove a substance called cathinone and cathine as naturally found in Mira crop, which is known as cathindulis, from the classification of psychotropic substances. You know, when you chew Mira, the reason why you feel excited or you feel happy, because Mira is a stimulant, is because of the two substances which are known as cathine and cathinone, Madam Speaker. And what we are proposing to do is to remove those two substances from the category of drugs as put by the NACANDA. So my justifications for the amendments is that under international law, cathine and cathinone are controlled by the UN Convention and the Psychotropic Substances 1971 and the Convention Against Illicit Traffic in Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances 1988. However, Madam Speaker, Mira as a crop is not under international control of the two instruments. As the report from the World Health Organization, Expert Committee on Drug Dependence in 2006 determined that the potential for abuse and dependence is low and the threat to public health is insignificant to warrant international control. What these experts are saying from the World Health Organization is that even if you chew Mira from now to tomorrow, to the day after tomorrow, it will have very little effect on your health. And Madam Speaker, to justify, yours truly choose Mira, of course, every weekend. And I think my health has never been compromised by the fact that I chew Mira. And many other people in this house also, Madam Speaker, and others out there, they do the same. You know, there's been some people saying that when you chew Mira, you cannot, your production effect becomes low, Madam Speaker. I want to challenge this house. Even we went with the Committee on National Security to a public participation in Yegembe. And they can realize that those people, actually Yegembe Central Constituency has the highest population in Meru County. And that is actually where a lot of Mira is grown. So, Madam Speaker, I'm trying to give justifications and also to say that in Kenya, Mira is a scheduled crop under the Crops Act 2013. So, while Mira is a legal crop in our statutes, the Crops Act 2013, the substances found in Mira, cathinone and cathinone are classified as narcotics in Psychotropic Substances Act. So, if the government is giving Mira farmers or Mira sector budget, and the same arm of government, another arm of government is trying to control and to say that Mira is a drug, Madam Speaker, that is why we have that contradiction. Therefore, this puts Miraa under the armpits of the two acts. The amendments to the Narcotics and Psychotropic Substances Control Act to exempt cathene and cathinone as naturally found in Miraa from the armpits of the necessary is very, very necessary to avoid the contradictions. Madam Speaker, the economic benefits of Miraa are not contested, and the government's effort to revitalize the industry are well evident. And since the year 2016, the Miraa sector has received budgetary allocations from the National Treasury. So, if National Treasury is giving 2 billion to Miraa sector, then why is Nakanda again penalizing those who are producing? Because once Miraa is categorized as a drug through the cathinone and cathine, it is difficult, Madam Speaker, to do value addition. Miraa is nowadays, there is a lot of research in Meru University and other institutions that Miraa, there is Miraa wine, Miraa juice, also Miraa tea bags, Madam Speaker. But these institutions have been unable to market these products because they are not getting licensed by the Kenyan Bureau of Standards. So that is why I'm here this afternoon to pray with the Senate so that they can help us to remove the two substances, cathinone and cathine, from the category under Nakanda. So it is important, Madam Speaker, to note that some of the government agencies, including Nakanda now, have spoken about it, have given contradictory positions on Miraa. In the year 2013, appearing before the Parliamentary Handle Committee, which was formed to investigate and inquire on Miraa-related issues, the chairperson then for Nakanda, Honorable John Mutudo, told the committee, the Parliamentary Committee, that there were no strong grounds to classify Miraa as a drug. And Makui was just the previous chair of Nakanda. And according to the Honorable Mutudo, he had no issues with the Miraa, and he really pronounced himself that the Miraa and is very little effect. Actually, is the one who urged Parliament to repeal or amend the Narcotics and the Psychotropic Control Act, which indicated the two substances found in Miraa as prohibited substances. And this afternoon, I want my colleague, Senator Mohamed Faki, you know, you have been discussing Miraa issues with him about Miraa and Mugoka. There's a time there was a crisis in Mombasa that the government then, county government, wanted to ban one of them, one of the products. And both Senator Milaj and Senator Mohamed Faki really helped me to discuss all these matters, and that ban was lifted. So I want to thank them, and I'm happy that in this house to support what I'm trying to propose. And this is actually, this is what...
What's your point of order, Senator Faki?
No, I'm saying...
Is that a point of order, Senator Faki?
You know, Madam Speaker, you should not affect the flow of my submission with such a point of order. You know, when you get the mic, Senator, that is when you can make those decisions.
Senator Kathuri, proceed on with your submissions. Let's proceed on.
You know, I've thanked him so much, Madam Speaker, and I don't know why now he's again getting pissed off. Because once we get permission, we remove cathinone and cathine from Nakanda list. Even we'll have no Miraa to take to Mombasa, because his worries is maybe there are some people chewing, not even Miraa, the other Mugoka or something, but we'll have no Miraa to take to Mombasa. We are going to do valuation. And the quantities that we need, even Mombasa people will be walking to Meru to ask where they can get a twig of Miraa from. Because what we want to do now is to go valuation, Madam Speaker. So we wanted to make sure that even these trucks we see on the road, the pickups and the trucks are wrong on the road, because we'll be shipping our finished products, which will do valuation to Europe and to other destinations. Madam Speaker, in the year 2021, the Meru County government, in collaboration with the Kenya Medical Research Institute, KEMRI, conducted the International Scientific Miraa Conference. And Nakanda and the Kenya Bureau of Standards expressed their support for the development of miraa products. These miraa products is what I mentioned, is miraa wine, miraa juice, miraa tea bags, and other substances that can be mined from miraa as a crop. So, but these two organizations, KEBS and Nakanda, cited illegal handle since miraa contains cathinone. And that is why we are trying to see how best we can remove this cathinone and cathine from the list of narcotics and psychotropic substances. If you go and manufacture cathinone and cathine in labs, as they do in the European countries, Madam Speaker, then that can be termed as a drug. But when cathinone and cathine are appearing in their natural state, therefore, that is what we are saying, that is not a drug, but just a very simple substance, just to make you feel high and also to make you feel relaxed. Madam Speaker, the entrepreneurs in the manufacture of the various miraa products have expressed their frustrations since their products could not be licensed. And this is hindering their products from reaching the intended market, especially the international market, as I put it. And they have, however, expressed optimism that such hindrances will be removed since the government has shown goodwill in supporting the miraa sector. Among the recommendations of the Miraa Scientific Conference was that there was need to amend the law to remove miraa from the list of narcotics and psychotropic stimulants to allow for value addition and diversify the miraa markets. The classification, Madam Speaker, of cathinone and cathine as psychotropic substances is thus an impediment to the value addition, as I put it, of miraa and the development of miraa products. Madam Speaker, I want to give this House again some parliamentary reports that have been made in support of the amendments. Madam Speaker, on July, Wednesday 10th, 2013, the Parliament of Kenya resolved to form a parliamentary select committee on miraa, and I was a member in the year 2013 when I joined Parliament. The 29-member committee was to be led by the Meru Women Rep, Honorable Kajuju, and the scope of the committee was to investigate and inquire into all matters relating to CAT, to consider and review all research findings, and to make recommendations on the way forward. And Madam Speaker, after the conclusion of its mandate, the committee tabled a report, and among its findings, there was no scientific proof that miraa is a drug. Madam, this committee actually traveled even to the UK, I think almost 8 members. And we went to the House of Commons, and there the Minister of Home Affairs, Madam Speaker, and already they also done their research. It is in this document. And they also proved that miraa is not a drug and is not affecting their people. And in its draft of recommendations of this committee led by Kajuju, the committee recommended the amendment of the Crop Act to include miraa in the list of scheduled crops. And further, the committee recommended that they should allocate funds to research institutions to enable them to carry out extensive research on miraa. And the committee also recommended that the government petition countries that had banned miraa to lift the ban. So, Madam Speaker, through Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendment Act number 7 of 2016, miraa was included in the list of scheduled crops Act 2013. So miraa nowadays is just like coffee, like tea, like coconut, like pyrethrum, like korosho. So miraa gets the budget through the National Treasury, like any other crop in Kenya.
Senator Kadhuri Murungi, You're addressing us in English. Colosho is cashew nut.
Cashew nut, of course, I know, but for the interest of Senator Miraji, I wanted her to feel nice when I mentioned corruption. It is also important to know that in the exercise of powers conferred in Section 40 of the Crops Act 2013, the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development made the Crops Regulations 2023, which have been adopted by both houses of Parliament. The objective of the regulations is to promote, develop, and regulate the miraa industry. Madam Speaker, if I may quote my colleague also, Senator Modigi. Modigi, in this entire almost half of Embu County, people grow mogoka. And that is their economic lifeline. And that is why my friend is here attentively, because you will be contributing to this important amendment, Madam Speaker. If this crop is not supported, how do you think that community can be able to survive? In Meru, I think 5 constituencies, they grow miraa and nothing else. And they don't even know how to grow any other crop because they have lived with the miraa since independence, since they were born. Even when they are doing dowry, we are doing dowry in Meru, you must take a bunch of miraa to your in-law. Otherwise, we will not get that in the Madam Speaker. So it is, the crop is so attached to us, Madam Speaker. Even when we are raising money for churches, we take miraa and sell in the church so that we can be able to buy seed pills, to do development in the church, Madam Speaker. So I didn't want to seek support from the Senate so that at least we can be able to support this community. Madam Speaker, in the United Kingdom, the House of Commons Home Affairs Committee undertook into investigation of the rationale and effect of the miraa ban by the UK government. In their report, the committee concluded that the ban on cat in the UK was not based on any evidence that miraa causes medical or social harm. Instead, miraa was banned because of a desire to avoid the UK becoming a hub for the illegal importation of cat into other EU countries. Madam Speaker, in their report, while sympathizing with the Kenya miraa community, the UK parliamentary report captures this, and I want to quote that there is the clear potential for the introduction of controls on cat in the UK to have an detrimental impact on the economy of Kenya, particularly in Meru, where cat cultivation is a major industry. Madam Speaker, if a European Parliament can be able to sympathize with this community, with the Meru, with the Embu, and other parts, how comes the Parliament of Kenya can be able to object the support that they should give this community? So they continued and saying that this would not in and itself be a good reason for rejecting a ban on a drug which was proven to be harmful. But in this case, there is no good evidence of medical or social harm. The Kenya delegation told us that, and told them that the policy and the potential to damage UK-Kenya relations. And through the UK is only one of the number of countries placing restrictions on cat. So, Madam Speaker, because my colleagues also want to contribute to this important amendment bill, I want to, in a few minutes, to summarize and conclude and say that, Madam Speaker, contrary to sensation reporting of the ban of miraa in the UK, the United Kingdom Parliament acknowledged that there is no evidence that shows that miraa has a direct causal link to adverse medical effects. The report indicates that in most of the European countries, the ban on cat was informed by bans affected by the neighboring countries, as there was the risk of exposing their countries into the business again. The Parliamentary Report Committee in Kenya on Agriculture and Livestock, Madam Speaker, on dated 2nd June 2022, responding to a petition by miraa farmers regarding the matters relating to miraa, among them implementation of the Mira Task Force, implementation technical team recommendations, the diversion of funds for the Mira industry, misappropriation of 1 billion meant for Mira revitalization, further underscores the significance the Parliament of Kenya has placed on the Mira sector. Madam Speaker, I don't want to continue with the more praises because I can see my members, honorable colleagues, have understood what I want to do. Therefore, in conclusion, Madam Speaker, well, Mira is a legal cash crop in Kenya, and the government provides budgetary allocations to support the industry. The classification of its components as prohibited substances negates the strengths meant to revitalize the industry and is a hindrance to the value addition of the crop. It is only fair and just to the farmers and the manufacturers of Mira products to have the components of Mira, cathine, and cathinone and their natural form be removed from ambits of the Narcotics and Psychotropic Substances Control Act. So, my colleague senators, I think I've convinced enough in my deliberations, but I'm very, very much available. Whoever wants more clarification, more information, just to approach me, or you can call me on wherever you are seated so that I can be able to give you more information, more facts, so that you can be able to support this amendment bill, which will go a very, very a big way, actually, to support one of the biggest populations that we have. And Madam Speaker, since you also come from a county that is so much agricultural like Murang'a, if today we say there should no macadamia nuts, we see now we have a lot of fight on macadamia nuts. Even in Meru, we do produce them. But you can see now the prices have gone down. Senator Murango is very much aware the effect that we have on macadamia. So if macadamia is banned in Murang'a, in Kirinyaga, in Kiambu, in Meru, in Embu, where can those farmers go? This is the same thing with Mira in Meru, in Embu, that is where it is mostly grown. Madam Speaker, I can see my colleague is a bit tense, but I want to promise you, once you approve this amendment bill, Senator Faki, we shall collect all Mira coming to Mombasa and do value addition. That is actually the comfort that I want to give you, so that when discussing this bill, you will have that insight, that what we want to do is to make sure that whatever Mira is coming out of Meru, we do value addition into wine, into juice, and also, if you can't drink wine or take juice, you can just boil your hot water and put Mira timber inside, and just you consume, and you'll be fine. So, therefore, Madam Speaker, thank you very much. I would like to request my friend Senator Chelagei to second this motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Kathuri. Very interesting debate. Senator Chelagei, hold on. Hold on. I have a communication from the chair on a visiting delegation of youth leaders from Murang'a County. Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon a visiting delegation of 12 youth leaders from Murang'a County. The delegation is in the Senate on a courtesy call to Senator Joe Ruto, MP. On behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, also from Murang'a County, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a very fruitful visit, and I thank you. And to honor the youth leaders who are from the county where Senator Joe Ruto and yours truly comes from, I will call out the names. We have Stephen Wangoi, Paul Mwangi, Susan Bao, Nahash Onjiri, Dennis Karori, Benjamin Kigo, Charles Mbai, Francis Jogona, Samuel Dongo, Irene Jerry, Jane Jerry, and Nancy. Thank you and welcome to Senate. Senator Cheradige, you may proceed. Yes, let me give an opportunity, first of all, to Senator Joe Nyoto to welcome the grade 12 youth leaders from Murang'a County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to welcome these youth leaders from Murang'a County, where you also happen to come from. Madam Speaker, these are young people who have volunteered themselves and come out as leaders in the county. And Madam Speaker, they have come here for mentorship and familiarization. And Madam Speaker, you know, as you have observed, that Murang'a County is a great county, a county that continues producing great leaders. And this is a county that also recognizes and respects women leadership, Madam Speaker. And that is why you and other women leaders on Sunday welcomed the President of Kenya, Madam Speaker. We have very many women leaders in Murang'a and who love the President. But Madam Speaker, these are youths that are non-aligned and who are here to learn and of course see what we do here. I want to welcome you to this house. This is the upper house of Parliament, which basically specializes in protecting devolution in the counties, and also, of course, you know, strives to see that counties are well resourced. So you are in the right place. Madam Speaker, they say that you have to fake it till you make it. So when these leaders are here, they are behaving like leaders, faking as leaders, at least when they are here, because ultimately, with God's blessings, they will end up in either of the houses as great leaders. So, Madam Speaker, I welcome these great leaders and encourage them to come once and again when they can, and I thank you for according and recognizing them and calling them out name by name. So, Madam Speaker, I thank you, and I encourage our young people to continue, of course, associating with leadership and visiting the houses. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you, Senator Joe Newton. Senator Charadige, you may proceed to second this motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity as I move to second this important bill, the Narcotic Drugs Psychotropic Substance Control Amendment Bill 2024, by His Excellency the Deputy Speaker of the Republic of Kenya, Katuri Murungi, who is a member of Njurinjeke. So, Speaker, I also want to thank Madam Speaker because the youth leaders from Murang'a are just here, and I'm happy Murang'a is one of the agricultural counties in the Republic of Kenya, and I want to wish them well. I'm happy Senator Newton has said they are non-aligned, and I'm happy that we'll work together. I can assure them if they want us to work together, I'm willing to work together so that we can mentor them to be leaders, not only leaders at their region, but national leaders. So, Mr. Speaker, we wish them well and God's blessings. That is where some of us started from. Speaker, we must, and I want to celebrate the Senator Katuri Murungi, the Njurinjeka, and the Deputy Speaker of the Senate Republic of Kenya. And Speaker, I think the biggest agenda we have as a nation, or as leaders who are elected as Article 96, is to represent the interest of our people. I think time and again, Senator Katuri, who used to be a member of Parliament of National Assembly in the lower house, and now is serving as a first-term member of the Senate, representing the great people of Meru, has done exceptionally very well. And I hope the people of Meru know that they have a representative, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, because the last senator we served with did not have this passionometer, that the passion that Senator Katuri has for the people of Meru, Mr. Speaker. And I know the issue of Mira is so dear to the people of Meru. But I'm Speaker, we must defend Mira farmers, like rice farmers in Mwea, like maize farmers in Wazingishu and Nandi, like sugarcane farmers in Western Kenya, like coffee farmers in Murang'a, Kiambu, and even in Nandi and Bungoma, like milk farmers, Madam Speaker, in Nandi, and even in Embu, Madam Speaker. Even in Embu, where Mount Kenya East I know I'm not making a political statement, but where majorly miraa is grown is in Mount Kenya East, Madam Speaker. And therefore, I want to say that we must defend farmers of miraa the way we'll defend farmers of mnazi from coast in Mombasa, Madam Speaker. Even macadamia, Madam Speaker. And even must defend even the fish farmers in Homa Bay and fish farmers in Mombasa. We must bring equality so that when we speak, the Senate knows, Madam Speaker, that we are speaking on behalf of all the farmers, Madam Speaker, in the Republic of Kenya. So I want to thank and say and tell the miraa farmers who are watching this debate that the people of Nandi are supporting you 100% to ensure we protect and ensure miraa as a crop, as a cash crop, Madam Speaker, becomes one of their critical and livelihoods, Madam Speaker. You are aware 1.5 million livelihoods depend on miraa, Madam Speaker. So we are talking about almost a quarter of the population of this country. 1.4 million livelihoods. Majorly Meru, where my brother Mundigi comes from, Embu, who has been very passionate about defending farmers, on all from coffee now to miraa, or known as cat, Madam Speaker. So 1.4 million Kenyans depend on this crop. It's not a number, Madam Speaker. Even when you look at the numbers that we are talking about, 80% to 90% is consumed locally, Madam Speaker, of this miraa, which is very critical and very important, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we harvest, and I want Senator Seki, not Senator Seki, Senator Faki. You know, Seki and Faki are not too far. That, Madam Speaker, we harvest 32,000 tons of miraa. That is what, 12 billion Kenya shillings, Madam Speaker. That's a lot of income generating, Madam Speaker. I know there could be resistance from some of our colleagues, maybe because of their religious beliefs, maybe because miraa was wrongly classified as a drug, Madam Speaker, that can lead to substance abuse. And I think this amendment, because I'll be very brief so that my colleagues can Madam Speaker, I know when you talk about psychotropic substance, it means it interferes with central nervous system. And therefore, when it was classified, miraa was wrongly classified. And now history has given us a chance to rewrite and stand with miraa farmers, Madam Speaker. I've told you we generate 12 billion yearly. Madam Speaker, 1 acre of miraa can generate over 1 million Kenyan shillings per year. Even us in farmers, and Senator Mandago will tell you, we don't generate 1 million in 1 acre of maize. In fact, I'm thinking, Senator Mandago, that we should start cultivating miraa in Nandi and Wazingishu. And we'll support Senator Katuri. Because if we are getting 1 million in an acre, as we are getting 40 bags at maximum of maize, times 3,500. The people who attended maths lesson in the morning, I can see the chairperson of finance should tell me what is, Madam Speaker, 3,500 times 40 bucks. I don't know, maybe he can calculate for us. So if you are earning 1 million, it is very important, Madam Speaker. And as I know Senator Obungoma, Senator Wakoli is a maize farmer, Madam Speaker. Even miraa, that is why I'm saying we should shift to miraa. Because if we are getting 1 million per acre, as we are getting 140,000 for maize farmers, Madam Speaker, can you believe? We are doing badly, Madam Speaker, and therefore I want to appeal that let us pass this amendment, let us save miraa farmers. Madam Speaker, you know our greatest market is Somalia, Madam Speaker. We must protect those information. And I'm happy, Madam Speaker, as I continue to second, because I'll be very brief, that I'm happy even we should need to allow the miraa farmers to export beyond Somalia, in Eastern Central Africa, Madam Speaker, and even export overseas. And I want to celebrate His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, because today he had a chance to address the Tanzania Parliament, Madam Speaker. And I'm happy the two leaders, Senate Majority Leader and Minority Leader, accompanied the President in his address to Tanzania Parliament. And one of the key issues that the President raised, and is very critical, is how as East Africa community, we can remove tariff barriers in terms of business. And I want to challenge miraa farmers. Now that President William Ruto, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, President Museveni, President Kagame, the President and Eastern Central Africa, Madam Speaker, under EAC, now that tariff barriers have been removed, we need to amend this law as fast as 159 of Sabatian Sawe, allow Miraa farmers to export their Miraa even up to Tanzania, because we are looking at 80 million plus market, Madam Speaker. We are looking about 300 million plus market where Miraa farmers can sell their crop, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank His Excellency the President, because some people might take it casually that we have removed tariff barriers in terms of business in this country. And Madam Speaker, that visit was very critical so that in future we can ensure we remove. We are one people, Madam Speaker. You have Maasais in Kenya, there are Maasais in Tanzania. Madam Speaker, I was impressed. There is also a Kalenjin member of parliament in Tanzanian parliament, Madam Speaker. So there are many. Even Luos are in Kenya. The others are in Isibania, I think, in somewhere in Tanzania, Madam Speaker, and therefore it is very important, Madam Speaker. The second and final point I wanted to make is that when we amend this act, Madam Speaker, we expect the anti-narcotic units to stop harassing Miraa farmers and also NACADA, Madam Speaker, the agency that fights against drug abuse in the country. Madam Speaker, Kenyans should understand the reason we want to amend and protect Miraa farmers is if this is still classified as a psychotropic substance. The punishment of a psychotropic substance, Madam Speaker, is 1 million or life imprisonment, Madam Speaker. So I want to appeal to Senator Faki, Senator Roba, Senator Miraj, Senator Abbas, Senator Chute, that this is very important, Madam Speaker. These are just normal farmers. There is nothing. Even, Madam Speaker, can you believe the coffee you take, it interferes with central nervous system. The tea you take, it interferes with central nervous system. So we should not say Miraa is a drug, Madam Speaker. It is just like any other crop that will assist, Madam Speaker, so that we can ensure. So I want to appeal to my colleagues, especially who have mentioned that we need...
Honorable Charadige, just hold on. What's your point of order, Senator Bass? Senator...
Yes, Madam Speaker,
Captain.
I wish to request the Honorable Senator Cherargei to clarify why he chose to single out Senator Faki, Senator Miraj, and Senator Abbas, and Senator Roba for the benefit of the House, because I don't seem to understand the intention of the Honorable Senator. Thank you.
Senator Cherargei, can you clarify why you segregated and singled them out in your submissions?
Madam Speaker, it is the senators that my eyes could capture. I could see at the floor of the House. Maybe I'll add the list: Senator Katuri, Senator Mundigi, Senator Mandago.
Senator
I have mentioned a number of
Senator
them.
Cherargei,
Yes.
your eyes are encouraged to capture more senators so that they can feel the submissions are more inclusive. Okay, proceed and finish your deliberations.
Madam Speaker, as per the standing order, I still have 1 hour, but I will just be brief. Madam Speaker, and I want to appeal to Senator Roba, my good friend and my big brother, and the party leader of UDM, that it was not in bad faith, it was in good faith, because we want people to know that we have a party leader in the House. And that is why I keep mentioning you, so that people are aware you are in the House, Madam Speaker, and your people appreciate that the role we are playing. Madam Speaker, and therefore on this issue of, as I conclude, Madam Speaker, the issue I just wanted to mention is that we want NACADA and anti-narcotics unit so that they can stop harassing farmers, Miraa farmers, Madam Speaker. I want to appeal and call upon the President, I think under the Constitution, to just assent to this bill. It is in good faith and we'll do value addition. Senator Mundigi was telling me that, and I once attended with him an ACK function, and Senator Mundigi was teaching us that Miraa, we can do value addition. Senator Katuri has said, we make Miraa juice, Madam Speaker. In fact, I'm proposing, if we pass this bill, and I know we'll pass it, Madam Speaker, we'll pass this bill. We'll pass it. We should also, in our availability of drinks in Parliament, I'm proposing that we should include Miraa juice so that we can start taking, and Kenyans can take the lead, Madam Speaker, because it is not a psychotropic substance.
No, Madam Speaker, can you protect me from Senator Roba? He's becoming I don't want to say unruly, but he's becoming Madam Speaker. So, juice, Madam Speaker, I'm proposing, and the first person who will assist us in testing that Mira juice will be led by the Deputy Speaker, Senator Mundiki, and you as truly. I'll be the third person, Madam Speaker. We will only consume water, soda, Mira juice, but other things are exceptional, Madam Speaker, and milk, of course. You know, there's milk already in the menu of Parliament. So we need to expand the milk because it's very healthy. I'm told it is good for the body and the soul, and it can assist you in other engagements, especially after 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, Madam Speaker. So we must ensure that we do value addition to all the things that we do so that the people of Mira, we can do value addition, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, finally, we should amend the second schedule because cutting on and cutting in, there are things that exist in Mira, but according to because I talked to some doctors and I want to inform my colleagues that the interference of central nervous system is not as equal as an abuse of drug, substance, or alcohol, Madam Speaker. This is just like coffee. Let me use caffeine that we take. It doesn't interfere, it doesn't intoxicate, Madam Speaker. So I want to thank Senate Deputy Speaker for bringing this, Madam Speaker. This bill is very important, and we know we want, Madam Speaker, I've said you, they will always, that we ensure, even if it means that we do medical and scientific regulations, Madam Speaker, we prevent and we ensure our 1.5, Madam Speaker, and if we remove today the 1.5 million livelihoods, we'll be very grateful. And I know, Madam Speaker, we can, when this enforcement, judicial discretion, over criminalization, resource needs, international obligations, and I've just given an East Africa, Madam Speaker. So we need to ensure that as a country, we must and should protect the farmers that we have in this country. Farmers, even I forgot to say, I know Senator Roba has been very uncomfortable through the Speaker. I forgot that we need also to protect camel farmers, just like Mira farmers. And that is why when they were that issue in Kwakimari, in Seikuru, we were very passionate that camel farmers should be protected. So as Senator Roba says, let's protect camel farmers. We are also saying protect Mira farmers. As Senator Mandago says, protect May farmers. We are saying protect Mira farmers. As Senator Mundiki says, protect Mira farmers. We are saying protect the fish in the auction by Senator Faki. So we must agree as a country, Madam Speaker, that we need to say that. Madam Speaker, with those very, very many remarks, I want to thank you, Madam Speaker. Somebody mentioned that Muranga has a lot of women leadership. And we are proud because the House of Mumbi, the Kikuyu nation are proud of you. And Nyumba, we are so proud, Madam Speaker, because on Sunday, we saw that women can be good hostesses of the president. We are so proud of you. I saw how elegant, graciously, beautiful you are dressed, holding on to the president. And we know there is no, Madam Speaker, can you protect me from Senator Karen Nyamu? He's just heckling, and you know that's the habit of ODM. I'm just praising you. Why is it still us that I'm praising the Speaker? Does she have any other agenda that we don't know? So we are proud that you hosted the president. Muranga, Nandi, and any other part, and I want also even in Mandera, the other day, Senator Roba, you hosted the president. The president is the president of the Republic of Kenya. He does not need any permission to visit any country. And I saw some people saying, why is President William Ruto visiting after every 1 week Muranga? Muranga is Kenya. He can even decide and come and live in Muranga. He's the president of Kenya, for heaven's sake. Even Meru. In fact, Meru should have a state lodge, Madam Speaker, so that the president can come and stay there, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, we are proud of you. And you know, many people had said Muranga is not in Kenya Kwanza, but under your leadership as SG Emeritus, we have seen Muranga is in government fully. And come 2027, many people will be shocked. I want to appeal to the president. The moment the president signs this Mira bill into law, he will get all the votes of Mount Kenya region, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with those many remarks, allow me to second, and I thank you and allow the colleagues also to make a comments. I beg to second, and I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Cheradi. Always very interesting in your debates. Honorable Senators, I propose a question that the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substance Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 1 of 2024, be now read a second time. And before we proceed on to the next stage of this bill, I am going to give a direction now that I see Senator Karen Nyamu is in the House. Honorable Senators, as you may recall, earlier this afternoon, the Speaker issued a communication on disrespectful remarks by Senator Karen Nyamu MP on a student under the school voluntary service scheme. Honorable Senators, I now see Senator Nyamu in the chamber, and in this regard, I forthwith call upon the Senator to tender the unreserved apology as earlier directed by the Chair to the Senate, the student's family, and the public for the distress occasioned by her remarks in compliance with the communication that was issued earlier by the Chair and the Speaker of this House. Senator Karen Nyamu, you now have the floor. You can move to the dispatch and recite the apology in the acceptable version. You can choose to do it from wherever you wish.
Madam Speaker, this apology has been written for me to read, and parts of it constitute an admission to what I have been accused of, which cannot be further from the truth. But because I respect the procedures of this House and the consequences of not adhering, I will go ahead and read this apology.
Senator, what's your issue, Senator Roba?
Yes, Madam Speaker, the Honorable Senator, contrary to the guidance you've given, she has disowned the statement that is in her hand by saying it was written for her to read, and contrary to what she believes is right. It's very important that if consciously she is not giving an apology, that she does not address, the Senate, that she is under coercion to make a statement that doesn't belong to her. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Robert, what's your point of order, Senator Chiralige?
Madam Speaker, I rise under Standing Order 122. If you heard Senator Karen Nyamu, my good sister, she just said the apology or the apology statement she wants to make was written for her, and she agrees with partly or part of its statement, but she's saying admission of guilty on the aspect of what. Madam Speaker, I want to request, because maybe this is premature, but to appeal for Senator that Standing Order 122, a senator commits an act of grossly dishonest conduct if the senator defies a ruling or direction of the Speaker or chairperson of the committees. So is Senator Karen Nyamu in order to defy your ruling that she goes expressingly and requests for an apology?
Thank you, Senator Chiradige and Senator Roba, for for raising those objections. Senator Karen Nyamu, I want to guide you. The Speaker has given directions on the apology you are to tender to the Senate. This apology relates to a very young learner, and you know the effect that it can have when statements are misunderstood. That student who was here came here to learn, to be mentored, and must be mentored in the best environment. So once again, I give you a chance to tender an unqualified and reserved apology in the terms that are set out as I have guided you and as you were guided earlier by the substantive chair of the Senate. Who are you informing? Because there is no one on the floor. You cannot inform when there is no one who is on the floor. So Senator Madago, hold your peace. Senator Karen Nyamu, can you now proceed to tender the apology without wasting time?
Madam Speaker, I'd also want, before I read my apology, I can let Senator Madago inform me.
Senator Karen Nyamu, proceed to tender the apology. I did not allow Senator Madago to proceed with any, even with his request for point of information, because there was no one on the floor. Proceed. Senator Madago, this house is guided not by elders, but it's guided by the standing orders of the Senate, and that those are the ones we are running the proceedings by. We have we have avenues for elders to guide in other very important matters. So proceed, Senator Karen. What is your point of clarification, Senator Kathuri Murungi?
Madam Speaker, I also am very, very keen to listen to the apology. But Madam Speaker, do you mean the place of elders in this house is not there according to you? Because many times we refer to elder, the chairman, you or youth.
Senator Kathuri Murungi.
Can you praise us?
Senator Kathuri Murungi, you mentor the other senators as ranking members of this house and as recognized by the standing order as ranking members. You do not mentor outside the framework of the standing orders. So I want to guide you. Elders have their own space. You can have your own space when you are outside the house. When you are having tea in the lounge, you can play the elders' role. But within Parliament, the framework for guiding the proceedings is within the standing orders. And that's the one we are using. The standing orders has not provided for elders, but has provided for ranking members. So we proceed on. You can do your role as an elder, and it's much needed. It's actually very much needed, but you do it within the right setting, not outside the setting. Otherwise, we'll have elders from one community bringing their rules, then another one from another community bringing their rules, and there will be a heavy conflict of which set of rules from which elders we should utilize to guide which senator. And with those remarks now, we are now proceeding. Senator Cheralige, maintain your peace now. Senator Karen Nyamu, please proceed to tender the apology.
Madam Speaker, I will go ahead and read my apology. Madam Speaker, I, Senator Karen Nyamu, MP, hereby tender my unreserved apology to the Senate, the student under the School Voluntary Service Scheme, the family of the student, and the public for the remarks I made on Wednesday, 25th March 2026, 2027, while welcoming the student. I acknowledge that the utterances were inappropriate and fell short of the dignity, decorum, and respect expected of a state officer, particularly towards a young female learner who was in the speaker's gallery. I reaffirm my commitment to uphold the values and integrity of the Senate and to treat all persons, especially young people, engaging with Parliament with respect and courtesy they deserve. Madam Speaker, I will also go ahead to say that I was highly misunderstood.
Senator Karen,
very surprised.
I think, Senator Karen, just leave it at that. You may have your seat now. Honorable Senators, having considered the apology tendered by Senator Karen Nyamu MP I hereby acknowledge and accept the same. I nonetheless caution you as a state officer going forward to refrain from making any such disrespectful remarks. I further now direct that all remarks made by Senator Karen Nyamu MP to the Senate on Wednesday, 25th March 2026 be expunged from the Hansard of that sitting day. I thank you. Thank you. Right Honorable Amason Jeffer Kingi, Speaker of Senate. We can now proceed on. What's your point of order, Senator Roba?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise on point of order and according to Senate Standing Order 111 to request that because this is a bill that is of interest to many and we wish to contribute, all of us, to limit the timing of the contributions so that we can get the opportunity to weigh in. Madam Speaker, thank you. I propose 5 minutes, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, there is a proposal for... yes, Senator Kathuri, the mover of this bill.
Madam Speaker, if my record is right and my knowledge on procedure matters, you can only validate that time when the bill is being moved, especially after seconding. That is when you can be able to limit the time. But when we are midway, from the one you call row house, I don't know whether the standing orders in the row house are different.
Senator Kathuri, I want to agree with you on your clarification on the procedural matter, but also guide you that we have done it, it's been done procedurally because it's just been seconded and we have not proceeded to the next step. He just seconded and then I read Senator Karen Nyamu's case and matter, so we are in good order. The procedure is okay, and I'm happy that you agree that the procedure is in order. We have not agreed on the 5 minutes. Now we were going to discuss that aspect. So, Honorable Senators, there is a proposition that we limit debate so that everybody could, all senators could have an opportunity to contribute to the important bill. If we have consensus on the number of minutes, then we will proceed. Senator Charadige, what point of procedure are you raising?
Madam Speaker, if you look at the Standing Order 111, that motion by Senator Roba is wrongly before the House because he just proposed and he doesn't have a seconder. So the motion serves as the fate of collapse. Madam Speaker, he didn't even call anybody to second. So that motion collapses, Madam Speaker, but it does not even see the light of day, Madam Speaker. It dies by the sword. So, Madam Speaker, that's violation of Standing Order 111 because it's a motion that should have been properly moved, which is not properly moved, Madam Speaker.
Senator Charalige, no decision has as yet been made. I only need to guide the Honorable Senator Roba to call the seconder of that motion before we move into agreeing how the debate is limited. I'm using my discretion as a speaker. Proceed, Senator Roba.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the guidance. I rise on Standing Order 111, and as moved, I request my colleague, Senator Mandago, to second.
Madam Speaker, I second.
So we can... Honorable Senators, I put the question that the debate on the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances control amendment bill, Senate Bills number 1 of 2024, be limited to 10 minutes. I put the question that the debate on the narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances control amendment bill, Senate Bills number 1 of 2024, be limited to 10 minutes. As many... If we are... You want to contribute to that motion? I will give one person on this side and one person on the other side and close that debate. So, Senator Faki, one person on this, one senator on this side and one senator on the other side. And 2 minutes each.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwanza ni kupinga mswada huu wa kupunguza wakati wa maongezi wa mswada huu muhimu. Mheshimiwa Spika, masuala ya miraa, masuala ya mogoka ni masuala ambayo yametoa athari nyingi sana kwa wakazi wa Mombasa, Pwani kwa jumla, na pia sehemu za North Eastern na sehemu zingine mpaka kama vile Garissa, Mandera, Wajia na kwa kwingineko. Kwa Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi binafsi dakika 10 hazitaweza kunitosha kuweza kuzungumzia mchango wangu kwa mswada huu. Ningeomba nipewe zaidi ya dakika 10 katika kueleza, nipewe zile 25 ambazo zinatakana kupewa ili niweze kupinga mswada huu kikamilifu. Asante Bi Spika.
Senator Madago.
Madam Speaker, I support the motion that the debate be limited to 10 minutes so that all honorable senators can have time to contribute.
Senator Madago, you cannot contribute to it because you're I'm alerted you seconded, so Senator Cheradigei takes your position.
Madam Speaker, thank you.
Thank you for seeking that clarification.
Yes, because Madam Speaker, as you said earlier, this house is not guided by elders. It is guided by the House President rules and standing orders. And you know, Senator Mandago is one of our revered elders of our community. So maybe that we can handle him at that level. Madam Speaker, I want to just support that 10 minutes is sufficient. This bill has stayed longer in the order paper. The Mira farmers are waiting. And even the President has just informed me the other day that he's waiting for the bill to ascend. So 10 minutes is more than sufficient. Madam Speaker, put the question and we will win it. I thank you, Madam Speaker. Put the question.
Senator Madago, that will be the last clarification we have on this issue. Take a minute.
Yes.
Proceed.
You know, Madam Speaker, I don't understand the agitation of Senator Mundigi. Mundigi, you should remember I'm among those who supported Muguka when there was a stalemate in Mombasa. Yes. You should come quietly. Madam Speaker, my clarification is not even related to the Mira amendment bill. We are going to go to that.
So can you do that clarification later then? Let's tidy up this Mira debate and then you'll do the clarification later. What's your point of order, Senator Roba?
Is it in order for the Honorable Senator Chererke to invoke the name of the President? And in terms of him saying the President has spoken to him in an issue that we are debating in the House, Madam Speaker. Procedurally,
Senator Cheradigei, don't go out of order to invoke the name of president, you may look like you are dropping names to intimidate other senators. So can you just put it within context when you are debating? So resume your seat because I'm putting the question now. No, sit down. I've just guided you. There you need guidance. Resume your seat, Senator Chirarige. Honorable Senators, I put the question that the debate on the Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Control Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 1 of 2024, be limited to 10 minutes per senator. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as are of that contrary opinion say nay. Aye. The ayes have it. So, what was your point of clarification before we proceed to the debate now?
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to seek clarification. When you, Madam Speaker, you gave your ruling on the acceptance of the apology by Senator Karen Nyamu. As you closed your remarks, you said Speaker Jefferson Kingi. I looked because members are not blind, and I know that the Speaker in the seat is Senator Veronica Maina.
Senator Madago, thank you for seeking that clarification. Yes, the substantive Speaker of the House is Right Honorable Amazon Jeffa Kingi, so he tends to sign and papers tend to be produced under his name. But I confirm that the Speaker in control of the Senate chamber today, this afternoon, is none other but yours truly, Senator Veronica Maina, MP, Murang'a County. Thank you. Now, we are proceeding to contributions, to make contributions, to allow senators to make contributions to the motion that is on the floor of the House. I'll give this first chance to Senator Mudigi.
Asante Bispika kwa kunipa nafasi nichangie mjadala wa kuhusu mraa mgoka katika nchi yetu ya Kenya ambaye imeletwa na Senator wa Meru Mr. Kadhuri Murungi. Bispika, mambo ya kilimo katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, kila county iko na ile mazao inalima. Ukienda Kitale utakuta kilimo ya mahindi. Ukienda Kisumu utakuta kilimo ya sukari. Ukienda Mombasa utakuta kilimo ambaye ni ya blue economy, mambo ya samaki. Ukienda Kitale utakuta pia mahindi na Eldoret utakuta mahindi. Ukienda Embu, ukienda Kitui, ukienda Tharaka Nithi, ukienda Meru, ukienda Embu, ukienda pia Nandi, na ukienda karibu kaunti 15 mambo ya kilimo, kwa sababu siku hizi watu wote wamerudi masambani. Utakuta watu wanalima mahindi, utakuta kahawa, manjani, makandamia, juu ya value addition. Pia Bwana Spika, mambo ya mgoka, hii kilimo ilianza wakati hizi vitu zingine sirumbwa na Mungu. Mambo ya miraa, kutoka zamani wazee wetu walikuwa nalima kilimo ya mgoka, kwa sababu tunajua ukienda Meru hata kwa kanisa utakuta miraa inapeanwa kama sandaka. Ukienda kaunti zingine kama mambo ya ndoa, ilikuwa mambo ya wazee wa zamani, mambo ya mgoka ilikuwa inapeanwa ndio mchana aweze kuolewa. Mambo ya miraa, Bwana Speaker, mambo ya watu wazee wakiwa wamekosana, unakuta hakukuwa na mambo ya vitu nyingi, hakukuwa na pesa. Mambo ya miaka ya zamani kulikuwa na mbuzi, kulikuwa na ng'ombe na kondoo, lakini mambo ya hela ilikuwa inaleta wazee pamoja, na mambo ya baraka kuungana na mambo ya mgoka. Speaker, wakati sisi kumeingia kilimo, mambo ya pesa, mambo ya ndoa, mambo ya zile vitu zingine, unakuta mambo ya value addition. Serikali ya Kenya ya William Ruto imesema mambo ya sukari ifanywe value addition huko upande wa Kisumu na huko Nandi. Ukienda upande mwingine utakuta kahawa, manjani makandamia saa hii imeleta bei mzuri sana juu ya kufanya value addition. Kwa hiyo Mr. Speaker, mambo ya murasto kumugoka katika kilimo yetu iko katika mazao ya kilimo, na ndio naona tunatetea kwa sababu katika Embu County na county zingine siku hizi umasikini umeondoka.
Senator Cherargei, hold on, Senator Mudige. Senator Cherargei, what's your point of order?
Be Speaker, nasimama kwa standing order 105. Ningependa kumuuliza ndugu yangu tu clarify kwa sababu Wakenya wengi wanafuatilia mjadala huu.
Choose the language you want to address the Senate.
Afafanue kanuni ya kudumu 105, afafanue tu aliposema kuwa miraa inatumika kama mahari katika kuoa. Inamaanisha ni miraa inatumika kwa kuposa msichana ama kutoa mahari, ama ni baadhi ya zawadi, ama ni mahari yenyewe? Ndio Wakenya waelewe. Nilitaka tu kwa heshima, si ati kumpinga, lakini afafanue so hizi, kwa sababu sisi wote hatutoki jamii ya Waembu. Sisi wengine tunatoa ng'ombe, wengine tunatoa ngamia, wengine tunatoa mbuzi, wengine wanatoa pombe la mnazi. So ingekuwa vizuri Senator Mundigi kwa heshima atuelezee ni zawadi ama ni mahari yenyewe. Ndio leo wale wanataka kuwa wasichana wa Embu wajue tu ukishachukua miraa msichana ukapewa. Tafadhali Mheshimiwa Mundigi.
Asante Bwana Speaker. Mambo ya miraa vile nilikuwa nasema wakati ya kukua na pesa, watu wanataka kuoa, watu wamekosana wakuja pamoja, kama vile unaenda kama Kisumu unakuta walikuwa anakaa pamoja wanaleta sukari. Ukienda sehemu nyingine ilikuwa ni kama mambo ya mahindi. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa inafanyika katika wa miaka ya zamani wakati hakukuwa na pesa. Na sasa hiyo kilimo wakati huu imegeuzwa ikawa ni mambo ya pesa, unapelekea baba ya msichana na mambo ya mama ya msichana. Kwa hivyo hata kwa kanisa zamani kulikuwa inatolewa kama sandaka, siku hizi inatolewa kama sandaka na kama ni pesa.
Kuna hoja ya nidhamu kutoka kwa Senator Manda, kwa hiyo naomba tafadhali tupunguze hizo hoja za nidhamu, zimekuwa nyingi ajabu.
Mheshimiwa Mstahiki Speaker, allow me to change the language. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to find out whether you are sitting there is not a conflict of interest, having been the mover of the motion and you want to preside over the decision of the House on this debate, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Senators, Honourable Senators. You know, when I asked the pleas of the owners, you know, there are one or two things that I know which you don't know, Senator Mandago. You know, we are not making any decision now on this bill. You are just contributing. You'll have your time. Senator Faki will get your time. My work is just to manage the House the way I'm doing. Senator. Yeah. No, wait. But listen, before even I make my decision, what you are requesting is an procedural, has no basis, completely has no basis in law and procedure. Well, Well, the chair is here, and this should be determined even in our standing orders. No, wait, why are you making, just sit down, have your seat. What I'm trying to explain is that by Kaduri Murungi chairing this session has nothing to do with the bill, because the bill you just debate. Are you intimidated by me when I'm here, or what is your problem?
Chair, you know you are the mover of this bill. You moved this bill this afternoon. Now, it is not what you think. It is what the common man in the street thinks, that Senator Deputy Speaker Kaduri Murungi presided over the debate of his own bill. Yeah, it's not proper. This is a rule of natural justice, that you cannot be a judge in your own cause. Now, you are not making the decision now. We are not making the decision now, but you are there presiding over the debate of your bill. It is the same. This is natural justice.
Senator Chalagay.
It is natural justice, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, sir, and the Deputy Speaker, I raise under Article 107 of Constitution in 2010. At any sitting of a House Parliament, the Speaker presides. In the absence of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker presides. And in the absence of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker and other members of the House elected by the House preside. At a joint sitting of the Houses of the Speaker of National shall preside, assisted by the Speaker of the Senate. Mr. Speaker, the reading of Article 107, you are the Deputy Speaker of the Republic of Kenya of the Senate. So you are properly seated, because Article 107 of the Constitution is very clear. In fact, if our brothers rely on standing orders of the Senate, the President, and my brother who is a senior advocate in this country knows that the Constitution is... Can you take care of Senator Faki? Yes, Article 107. Article 107 talks about how Parliament should be presided. And Mr. Speaker, since you are the Deputy Speaker and the Speaker is not here, naturally, as per the Constitution, you are presiding over the House. And let me be on record. Under the Constitution, you don't lose your right as the elected Senator of Meru, because you are the Deputy Speaker, to move either a statement, a motion, or a bill. In fact, what Senator Faki is subjecting to you is contravening Article 7 on discrimination on your person as a member of and as elected Senator of Meru, Mr. Speaker. So you are properly presiding over the House. Let Senator Faki, he will be given a chance to contribute. Why is he worried if he has better ideas than all of us, Madam Secretary?
Mudigi, proceed and conclude your contribution.
Bwana Speaker, yangu naomba tuweze kukaa pamoja kama Senate hii. Kama vile tulipitisha sukari ikawa value addition, tukapitisha majani ikawa value addition, tukapitisha kahawa ikawa value addition. Saa hii hawa wakulima wote wanaserekea kama Wakenya ambaye wanaserekea mambo ya kilimo. Bwana Speaker, ningeomba tu hii Senate vile ilifanya pia ipitishe mambo ya Mura Mugoka, ndio ile kaunti 15 ile ambaye wakati huu inaserekea pesa kutoa kilimo ya Mura Mugoka iweze kupata mazao yao, kwa sababu mambo ya shule, mambo ya kanisa, mambo ya manyumbani, kila kitu yote kilimo ya Mura Mugoka inaendelea vizuri. Na pia Bwana Speaker, kama hii mambo yote itaendelea, utakuta economy ya counties, utakuta economy ya Kenya, kama vile tumeona serikali ya Kenya ya William Ruto ikifanya mambo ya mazao ingine. Hivyo tunamuomba hii bill tukipitisha pia apitishe, ndio kilimo ya Mura Mugoka iweze kuendelea njia ile inafaa. Bwana Speaker, mambo ya Mura Mugoka yende ikawa watu wengine wanaweza kupinga, lakini naomba pia serikali kutoa hii kadhini na kadhino. Hiyo kakitu ni kama vile unaweza kunywa manjani nyingi ama unaweza kunywa kawa nyingi, inakusumbua akili, inakusumbua mwili. Kwa hivyo Bwana Speaker, hii kitu ikipitishwa pia itafanywa research na serikali ya Kenya tuweze kuona kama inaweza kutoka dawa. Kwa sababu unajua mrasho kumugoka inaweza kutoa dawa mzuri sana. Pia Bwana Speaker, mambo ya wine ambayo inaweza kutoka pale, mambo ya mbigiji inaweza kutoka pale na vitu nyingi, na pia mambo ya majani ambaye inaweza kutengeneza ndio watu wakae vizuri. Na ninaomba Bwana Speaker, mambo mengi hiyo ikifanyika kama itapita, utakuta nchi yetu ya Kenya ile kaunti zote inalima hiyo mazao, itafaidika na njia ile inafaa. Kwa hivyo Bwana Speaker, watu wengi wanapinga, watu wengine wanapinga, lakini ni kama ukienda kule Mombasa, hatunjawahi kusema samaki ni mbaya. Tukienda kona zingine, hatunjaweza kusema majani mbaya. Kwa hiyo Bwana Speaker, mimi nikiwa Senator wa Embu County, naomba hizi county zote zinalima hii mazao. County 15 itaserekea na njia inafaa, na pia umaskini itakuwa imeondoka katika nyumbani mwao. Kwa hiyo Bwana Speaker, mimi nikiwa Senator wa Embu County naunga mkono. Nikimalizia, naomba tukipitisha mbora tu serikali kuu iweze kushimba dams na mboho na kila kona zote, ndio tuweze kupata maji ya kunyunyizia ile mmea. Na pia serikali itavute pia soko huko nchi ya ng'ambo iwe value addition. Kwa hiyo Bwana Speaker, mimi nikiwa Senator wa Embu County, Daktari Mundigi, naunga mkono. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Sasa tusikie alionayo Senator wa Mombasa, Senator Mwinyi Haji Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Speaker, kwanza ni kusema kwamba mswada huu umekaa kwa muda mrefu na ni wazi kwamba ipo haja ya kumaliza mswada huu. Mheshimiwa Speaker, zao la miraa na mgokaa ni katika yale mazao ambayo yana ile kemikali ambayo inaitwa cathinone na cathine, ambazo kemikali hizi kulingana na Umoja wa Mataifa kuhusiana na masuala ya madawa zimewekwa katika ibara ya kwanza, yani schedule 1 katika sheria ya Umoja wa Mataifa inahusiana na masuala ya madawa ya kulevya, na katika nchi yetu ya Kenya imewekwa katika class C ya madawa ya kulevya. Kwa hivyo hizi kemikali mbili ambazo ziko katika mmea wa miraa na mmea wa mgokaa ni kemikali ambazo zimepigwa marufuku kimataifa kwa sababu zina madhara kwa wale watumizi wa madawa haya wa vitu hivyo. Kwa hivyo hii cathine na cathinone ni sawa na ile ambayo iko katika zao la bangi, cannabis sativa. Bangi pia ina kemikali hizi. Kwa hivyo iwapo tutakuwa tunafungulia miraa na mgokaa ama kuondoa kemikali hizi mbili katika mambo ya madawa, ina maana kwamba bangi pia itakuwa imeingia katika uhalali. Tunaweza kuvuta bangi kwa sababu bangi pia ni mmea. Tukiangalia sehemu fulani za Mount Kenya bangi inakuzwa kwa wingi, lakini msituni kwa sababu ni zao ambalo limepigwa marufuku. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Speaker, ni masikitiko kwamba nakada pamoja na polisi hawajaweza kuanza kushika watu kwa kukeuka sheria inahusiana na madawa ya kulevya, hususan zao la miraa na zao la mgokaa. Mheshimiwa Speaker, iwapo tutafungulia cathinone na cathine, kuna zile synthetic ambazo ni za kutengenezwa katika maabara na nyinginezo ambazo pia zina kemikali kama hizi, zitaweza pia kuruhusiwa kuingia katika nchi yetu. Hivyo basi itakuwa ni madawa ya kulevya ambayo yanatumiwa kwa urahisi na yatapatikana kiurahisi ili kuweza kudhuru afya za jamii zetu. Mheshimiwa Speaker, katika soko la kimataifa miraa mara nyingi inakwenda sehemu za Yemen na sehemu nyingine chache, lakini sehemu nyingi hata hapa Tanzania Mheshimiwa Speaker, miraa imepigwa marufuku. Ukishikwa na miraa Tanzania ni kama ambaye umeshikwa na madawa makubwa ya kuleva kama hapa tunayotumia zile cocaine na nyinginezo, na unaweza kufungwa maisha katika nchi ya Tanzania. Ukienda Uganda pia, Mheshimiwa Spika, miraa imepigwa marufuku. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, sio Kenya peke yake, ni Kenya peke yake ambayo inaruhusu ukuzaji na uuzaji wa miraa, lakini kimataifa sehemu nyingi miraa imepigwa marufuku, na ukifika sehemu nyingine Mheshimiwa Spika, waweza kuhukumiwa kifo kwa sababu ya zao hili ambalo utakuwa umelibeba. Mheshimiwa Spika, zao hili likiruhusiwa kama linavyoruhusiwa sasa, ni kwamba tunaingiliana na ile hali ya afya ya akili kwa watu wengi. Katika hii kemikali ya cathepsin na cathonin kuna ile inaitwa dopamine, ambayo dopamine ikichanganyika na serotonin, hizo zote ni kemikali ambazo ziko katika mwili wa binadamu, zinapatikana katika cathonin na cathonin. Zikichanganyika Mheshimiwa Spika, zinaleta madhara ya akili. Madhara ya akili kwa sababu cathonin inaongeza uzalishaji wa serotonin katika mwili, na dopamine pia Mheshimiwa Spika inatokamana na hii cathonin, ambayo hizo mbili zikishikana Mheshimiwa Spika, maradhi ya akili yanakuja moja kwa moja. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, iwapo tutakubali mswada huu, ni kuwa tunahalalisha ulanguzi pia na vile vile matumizi ya madawa ya kulevya ambayo yatakuwa na athari kubwa kwa jamii zetu na nchi zetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa mji wa Mombasa, kwa kaunti ya Mombasa, kwa siku Mheshimiwa Spika, watu wanatumia shilingi milioni 75.6 kwa matumizi ya miraa na mgokaa. Pesa hizi Mheshimiwa Spika zinakuwa kwa mwaka mzima na karibu bilioni 7. Na ukiangalia Mheshimiwa Spika, wale wanaotumia madawa haya sio watu ambao ni matajiri ama ni watu wenye kujiweza, la, ni watu ambao wengi Mheshimiwa Spika ni walala hoi, na hii imesababisha kusambaratika kwa jamii. Wengi nyumba zao zimevunjika, watu wameweza kupata talaka, kupeana talaka na kukimbia. Ukosefu wa kazi Mheshimiwa Spika, ukosefu wa usalama na kusambaratika kwa jamii katika maeneo hayo. Ukiangalia Mheshimiwa Spika, sehemu za Lamu miraa inalakiwa kwa shangwe. Ile boti ya miraa ikifika Mheshimiwa Spika asubuhi inalakiwa kwa shangwe, kwa sababu wananchi wameweza kuipata ile katika damu yao, na kwamba sasa akiikosa inaleta shida. Mheshimiwa Spika, tukiangalia mbali na hiyo milioni 75 ambazo zinatumika kununua miraa na mgokaa kila siku, kuna zile gharama nyingine ambazo hazikadiriki. Kwa mfano afya inaathirika Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sababu wengi wanaotumia miraa wanapata shida kustarehe na wake zao ama wale wapenzi wao. Vile vile afya yao Mheshimiwa Spika inazoroteka, kwa sababu wanapunguziwa kasi. Miraa inapunguza kasi ya mwanamume, inakuwa ni rahisi labda kumaliza Mheshimiwa Spika, na vile vile pia hali ya shahawa ya mtu ambaye anakula miraa Mheshimiwa Spika huwa inaharibika. Kwa hivyo hizi zote ni athari ambazo zinapatikana na matumizi ya miraa Mheshimiwa Spika. Vile vile Mheshimiwa Spika, mbali na masuala haya ya afya, kuna masuala ya ukosefu wa kazi kwa wale ambao wanatumia bidhaa hizi. Utapata mtu anayekula miraa Mheshimiwa Spika atalala mpaka, atakuwa macho mpaka saa 9 usiku. Mtu yule hawezi kuamka asubuhi akaenda kazini ama kaenda shambani, itabidi mchana aamke tena alale. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, hii inasambaratisha jamii, na tusiambiwe kwamba ati Wameru hawana mazao mbadala. Tumeona zao la macadamia linakuwa vizuri katika maeneo ya Meru. Zao la majani chai linakuwa vizuri. Kwa mfano majani ya mogakao Mheshimiwa Spika na majani chai hayana tofauti. Ukiangalia mmea wa majani chai na mmea wa majani wa mgokao hawana tofauti. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, tusiambie kwamba ati hakuna mzao mbadala ambalo wa Meru wanaweza kukuza ama wa Embu na Wadharaka waweze kukuza badala ya mgokaa na miraa. Mheshimiwa Spika, mazao yako mengi ambao wanaweza kukuza, na ni jukumu la serikali kuhakikisha kwamba wanapewa zao mbadala ambalo wanaweza kulima ili wakidhi mahitaji yao. Mheshimiwa Spika, hapa Kiambu kulikuwa kuna mashamba mengi ya kahawa, lakini siku za karibuni, Mheshimiwa Spika, mashamba yale wengine wameweza kufanya kilimo cha horticulture. Labda Senator Murango atanifafanulia horticulture ni nini kwa Kiswahili. Wengine wameweza kukuza passion fruit, wengine wameweza kupanda maua, na hivyo basi wameendelea kufanya ukulima kulingana na vile ambavyo wanaweza katika maeneo yao. Sehemu nyingine, Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa mfano sehemu za Nyanza, bangi inaweza kufanya vizuri sana. Sehemu za Mount Kenya bangi inaweza kufanya vizuri sana, lakini wakulima wa kule, Mheshimiwa Spika, wamejizuia kulima bangi. Wamejizuia kulima mazao ambayo ni kinyume na sheria. Kwa hivyo kwa nini Wameru wawe ni watu tofauti, kwamba waruhusiwe kupanda mimea ambayo ina athari kwa jamii zingine? Mheshimiwa Spika, na hii si vita, hatupigi vita Wameru sisi, Mheshimiwa Spika. Yataka uelewe kwamba tukisema zao la mgukaa na zao la miraa ni baya, ni kweli ni baya, kwa sababu utafiti wa kimataifa umeonyesha kwamba ina kemikali ambazo zikiingia kwa mwili wa mwanadamu zinakuwa athari kwa mwanadamu yule. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, je, tutajenga jamii ama tutajenga baadhi ya jamii ambayo wanafaidika na zao hili? Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa niaba ya watu wa Mombasa na kwa niaba ya watu wa Pwani, hili zao hili Mheshimiwa Spika lilipigwa marufuku katika kaunti zote 6 za Pwani.
Senator Abbas. 30 seconds to conclude.
Zao hili lilipingwa sio Mombasa peke yake, mpaka Nakuru, Mheshimiwa Spika. Nairobi hapa maeneo ya Isli, Mheshimiwa Spika, watu waliandamana kupinga zao hili. Kwa hivyo sisi hatusemi kwamba watu wa Meru wanyimwe nafasi ya kupata pesa, lakini kupata pesa kwa njia ambayo si halali, Mheshimiwa Spika, hiyo haikubaliki. Si kwa kisheria za nchi wala kwa sheria ya Mungu. Fanya kazi upate pesa kwa njia ambayo ni halali. Na zao la mgokaa na zao la miraa, Mheshimiwa Spika, ni mazao ambayo ni athari kwa jamii. Kwa hivyo tunapinga mswada huu na
nikiwa mwenyekiti wa sasa, nataka niwaeleze ya kwamba hii sheria sio ya kusema aidha kupiga marufuku miraa ama mgokaa hasa. Kile kitu tunajadilia na sio vile nimeleta mswada, ni vile nataka tuwe katika laini vizuri. Ni kama bunge ya Senate itakubali kutoa substance inaitwa cathinone na cathine katika orodha ya nakanda. Hiyo tu, sio ya kwamba tujadili kama miraa ama mgoka ni marufuku, ni halali ama ni haramu kwa nchi yetu. Ndio nataka tuwe tunaelewana namna hiyo. Senator Abbas. Senator Abbas. That is the amendment that we have. I'm factual. I am factual, but you have expended your time, Senator Abbas. Abbas, proceed.
Okay. Honorable Speaker, thank you so much. We appreciate that as the move forward, we have no problem, or I don't have a problem with the economy of Meru. That mostly depends on miraa. But of course, miraa has been classified as a drug because of the two substances, the cathinone and the cathine, which affects the human being that consumes the miraa. Honorable Speaker, I come from a region that miraa is actually highly used and chewed. But of course, if we look at the cost-benefit analysis, As much as the growers are getting a lot of money, the consumers are actually so much at disadvantage, and it affects them so much. Honorable Speaker, Mira, actually, botanical name is called the Calas adulis. They call it Mira, they call it Mokoka, and many other names. It's only grown in 3 regions here: Meru, and Kenya, Ethiopia, and Yemen. And Mira is just, most of it is widely grown. Madam Speaker, we are not saying that the issue of saying that we remove the catenine and the the catenine and the catenone and the catenine to be classified as a drug, as leaders here, I am not supporting it, and it's very wrong actually, because a lot of research has been done on this, and the impact of those two substances as a drug is already classified by WHO even. WHO, that is World Health Organization, has already classified those 2 substances as a drug. So Kenya cannot contravene whatever is being said in the World Health Organization. This drug, Madam Speaker, affects, I can read for you 1 or 2 things, if you allow me, for the purpose of record. It's actually a stimulant, and in the long run, Madam Speaker, the effect is that it causes depression. When somebody eats Mira, Madam Speaker, and by the way, let me be honest in this house, I one time chewed Mira when I was a young man, and I know how much it affected me. Today, I even regret it, why I ate that thing. And many friends of mine did, and I know what situation they live in today, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you have a difficulty in sleeping, insomnia, because you can be awake for almost 24 hours. So it's only drugs that can affect the mind not to sleep. Madam Speaker, it also has oral health issues. The tooth, when you chew Mira, the tooth decay. So you will see a young 20-year-old guy or 30-year-old boy that has no teeth. He cannot even smile. So because this thing makes, these drugs, substances, makes the teeth decay very early. It causes mouth ulcers. If you look at the Mira chewers, most of them, their lips are peeled off because the growers are using some things they spray for purpose so it can grow fast. So it actually caused a lot of cancer, stomach cancer, and even the lips. Madam Speaker, it causes constant constipation. That if you chew Mira, you might not eat food for 2-3 days. And those young men who chew these things hardly eat and they keep on sleeping. They get insomnia, they cannot eat it, they are constipated. So most of the time you see the Mira chewers growing very weak. They cannot be able even to perform some of their functions. It affects even the libido in men. That most of women, there are many people now who lost their marriage. Ladies have run away from their men in my place. Because it causes libido depression. Madam Speaker, it causes a lot of dependence, psychological dependence. It causes, you actually become a beggar because you want to cheat every day because of the addiction. So you see people even stealing because to get money for Mira. Madam Speaker, you see people deserting even their children, that they cannot feed them. Instead of taking the money to home, they go to and buy Mira and sit for 24 hours away from their homes. Madam Speaker, it causes, a long use of it causes a cardiovascular problem. It affects the heart. And many people are actually having a heart problem. Therefore, it elevates the blood pressure also. You get pressure, continuous use of it. So We have so many sickly people who have heart problem without of pressure as a result of this methionine and cotinine. Liver cases also very bad because you're chewing that thing and it has those drugs and substances. You have liver problem. People liver sclerosis. What do you call it? I think there's a name they use. That the men who chew miraa have a liver problem. Madam Speaker, it has a lot of socio-economic problems also. Of course, it affects the livelihood, as I said. The money is being used. It causes liberty issues that it causes breakage of homes. Many of them actually, the men and women have left one another. Therefore, miraa, as it is, actually we know the government is supporting miraa just because of politics, to get the support from our brothers in Meru. So, Madam Speaker, one other thing is miraa is actually only chewed by the Merus, which are not even many. And one other thing, Madam Speaker, that thing has even affected the education systems in Kenya. I mean, sorry, our boys and kids are not going to school. Because if they get to learn these things, the mothers are selling miraa, the kids have not even time for the love of their mothers. So it has really caused a lot of social problems to us, to the chewers, and those who make business out of it. And therefore, even the World Health has classified miraa as a substance that causes depression. And it's bad, actually. It is bad in Uganda, our neighborhood. It is bad in Tanzania. It is bad in every country. I mean, what do you call it? Rwanda. It is bad in Europe, in entire Europe. It is bad in the Middle East. Actually, in the Middle East, if I found, it's life sentence. So today, telling that Nakada to remove miraa as a drug, I think we are misleading this country. As much everybody has a choice to chew miraa. If they want to buy it, let them buy it. But you cannot tell an institution like Nakada, which is there to regulate all drug issues, to remove miraa as a drug. With those few remarks, I beg to support. I beg to oppose.
Senator Murango.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker. Nadhani kama endelezo la kiimani nitaanza kwa kusoma Wagalatia 5 mstari wa 23. Inasema likikataa usawa na udhibiti binafsi sio kupita kiasi ili kuepuka tamaa na uharibifu. Mr. Speaker, kila kitu kwa kiasi. Kila kitu kwa kiasi. Na kila kitu kikizidi kiasi, kila kitu kinakuwa sumu. Mr. Speaker, hata ngono ikizidi na ifanywe kiholela inakuwa sumu. Mr. Speaker, mihogo unaijua, Mr. Speaker. Usipotoa maganda vizuri, pia kuna kemikali ambayo inaitwa cyanide ambayo inaua zaidi kushinda kitu kingine chochote duniani, Mr. Speaker. Maharagwe ile kwa kimombo inaitwa kidney beans, iko na kemikali inaitwa lectin ambao ukikula tu zikiwa mbichi 4-5 utarazwa hospitali, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, nyama ya bacon ya nguruwe, sausage, zile wanaita sausages, zote imesema kwamba hizo ni carcinogens, zinaleta ugonjwa wa kansa. Hata tufaa, uniruhusu Mr. Speaker, inaitwa apple, mbegu zake ukizila pia ziko na inaitwa cyanide. Hata cherry pits pia itakudhuru, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, nataka kusema nini? Ya kwamba hatuwezi kudhibiti mmea mmoja kwa sababu ya kasoro moja ambayo watu wanasema iko nayo. Mr. Speaker, hata saa hii nasema hivyo kwa sababu kuna ukimwi, wanaume wanaoa, wanawake wanaolewa. Barabarani kuna ajali, Mr. Speaker, na bado tunasafiri tunatembea. Kwa hivyo ni kila kitu kwa kiasi, Mr. Speaker, na unajua vifo vingi sana haswa Kenya hii, vifo vingi sana vinaletwa na uvutaji wa sigara. Mbona leo hatuja kuja kudhibiti ukuzaji wa tumbaku, Mr. Speaker? Na hilo liko wazi kwa kila mtu kwamba uvutaji wa sigara ndo unaua watu wengi sana duniani. Na niko na hesabu Mstahiki Spika katika jadwali nilo nalo hapa Mstahiki Spika, ya kwamba wale wanaougua na kufa kwa sababu ya kuvuta sigara kwa sababu ya kupumua ni 40%. Na usisahau Mstahiki Spika, uvutaji wa sigara unaua watu 12,000 kushinda kitu chochote katika nchi ya Kenya. Kuna kansa inakuwa ni 31.4 nchini. Kifua kikuu 13.4. Cardiovascular, magonjwa ya moyo 11.2. Mstahiki Spika, nasema tusiwe na mazoea ya kuja kuleta sheria ili kuweza kuharamisha mazao ama uraibu ambao unaenda kwa maskini. Ndio maana unaona Mstahiki Spika, leo makaa ni haramu, lakini mbao kwa sababu zinaenda kwa tajiri ni halali. Leo hii Mstahiki Spika, ukienda na mbao umembemba na uko na risiti, hakuna mtu atakuuliza. Maskini na gunia moja ya makaa atakimbizwa kila mahali. Zimetoka kwa ule mtu mmoja, Mstahiki Spika. Kwa hivyo ndo nasema sheria tunapozitunga na ziwe sawa kwa kila mtu. Nimesikia Mheshimiwa Faki ameenda akisema kwamba hata bunge la Tanzania limepitisha kwamba miraa ni haramu. Mheshimiwa Mtopire kutoka Tanzania juzi walikuwa nasema waondoe hiyo marufuku kwa sababu wameona tayari kwamba inaharibu uchumi na maneno ambayo inasemwa mengi si ya kweli. Mstahiki Spika, Mstahiki Spika, mimi nimepeana takwimu ya wale watu wanakufa kutokana na uvutaji wa sigara na mambo kama hayo. Bado sijaona takwimu kutoka taasisi husika inaonyesha vifo vya wale ambao wanakula miraa na mambo kama. Mstahiki Spika, kwa hivyo Mstahiki Spika, ndio nasimama leo nikisema mimi naunga mkono. Mstahiki Spika, huwa nasema ukiona kesi ambayo imeenda kwa Juma Mfarume imekaa sana, ujue Mfarume yako na makosa. Na saa hii Mstahiki Spika, kwa hii Juba unaona Wafarume bando wako. Ni kwa sababu kuna jambo moja ambalo aliendi sawa. Mstahiki Spika, ningetaka niongee kidogo kuhusu Mstahiki Spika, ningetaka kidogo niongee vizuri kidogo kuhusu umuhimu pia wa miraa na muguka. Mstahiki Spika, ukiangalia Mheshimiwa Faki amesema kwamba inaongeza mwili kutoa dopamine. Mstahiki Spika, dopamine ni ile ni hormone ambayo wakati inashuka unaanza kusikia vizuri. Kwa hivyo wewe sema kwamba inafanya dopamine itoke kwa mwili wako alafu useme bado inaleta depression. Mstahiki Spika, hayo ni mambo mawili tofauti. Mstahiki Spika, kitu ambayo miraa na muguka unafanya pia ni kupoteza hamu ya chakula. Kwa hivyo inatumika kama dawa. Mstahiki Spika, idhibitiwe kwa sababu kama inapoteza hamu ya chakula. Mstahiki Spika, na ukienda katika mitaa ya kitajiri, wale watu wanene wanakimbia bila kitu kimewakimbiza na hakuna kitu wanakimbilia. Kwa nini basi isikae na hiaramishwe tuitumie kwa wale ambao wanataka kupoteza uzito? Mstahiki Spika, na Mstahiki Spika, siku ya leo enda katika kliniki nyingi tana katika mitaa ya kitajiri, utapata kuna dawa zinaitwa Mojaro za kujidunga watu wapoteze uzito. Zingine Mstahiki Spika zinaitwa Ozempic ambao hata zinadhuru watu, wanangoka nywele, wanakaa vipara kama mjusi. Lakini zao la miraa linatupa tiba ya kuweza kupoteza uzito. Kwa nini basi useme kwa sababu hili ni njema tulitumie pia katika kudhibiti uzito? Mstahiki Spika, kwa sababu sio lazima tuangalie tu mbaya, tuangalie na nzuri. Mstahiki Spika, wakati unalea mwana mzuri na mbaya pia umlee. Mwema ukimpa mchele na yule mbaya mpatie chelele. Mstahiki Spika, kwa hivyo tuangalie yote. Mstahiki Spika, kadhi na kadhinon inajulikana kupunguza lehemu. Lehemu ni cholesterol. Mstahiki Spika, na unajua lehemu ndio chanzo kikubwa cha magonjwa ya moyo. Mstahiki Spika, na kwa hivyo ndo nasema kama itafunwi basi tutoe hii dawa tuweze kusaidia watu ambao wako na shida ya sinikizo la damu na wale pia wako na magonjwa, wako na lehemu kupindukia. Mstahiki Spika, Mstahiki Spika, hii miraa na muguka pia inaweza kudhibiti uchungu. Mstahiki Spika, na kwa hivyo pia kuna nafasi ya kutoa ndawa tuweze kudhibiti uchungu. Mstahiki Spika, Mstahiki Spika, kuna mambo mengi sana ambayo naweza ongea kuhusu hili zao, lakini sana sana Mstahiki Spika, unajua nilikwambia ni zao la maskini, sana sana linaliwa na maskini, linakuzwa na maskini. Na unajua Mswahili siku moja alisema kwamba maskini hendi mkele, na angeenda mkele akanjaza mchere njahazi tere hurudi na upele. Kwa hivyo mimi nitasimama siku ya leo niseme ya kwamba tunapotunga sheria zishuwe tu ni sheria zinaenda upande moja. Mstahiki Spika, saa hii mambo wenyenye ndio wavuta mbangi wakubwa sana katika nchi hii. Saa hii tunaongea, lakini kwa sababu bangi imefichwa, wenyewe wanaenda kununua katika maeneo mengine ambayo maskini hawezi fika. Lakini kwa sababu wengine lazima yatumie kwa shida tofauti tofauti, wanaenda pule. Mstahiki Spika, hata saa hii tukiharamisha miraa itaanza kulimwa kama bangi. Saa hii pesa ambayo saa hii kwa sababu bangi ni haramu, pesa ambazo zingeenda kwa kondi zinapotelea huko chini chini. Mstahiki Spika, na kwa hivyo ningesema, na kwa sababu miraa si lazima, hakuna mtu anazimia, ni uraibu ambao wa kujitakia kwa hiari. Mstahiki Spika, unafaa uachwe. Kama tunaacha sigara, Mstahiki Spika, tuache pia na miraa. Kama tunaramisha miraa, pale pale pia tuharamishe mpaka uvutaji wa sigara na tumbako. Lakini shida ni nini? Ni kwa sababu mabwanyenye ndo wenye mitambo mizima kutengeneza sigara, na kwa sigara ndio maana hiyo haiguzwi, lakini hii kidogo ndo itaguzwa. Kwa hivyo Mstahiki Spika, mchango wangu ni huo, na mimi Kirinyaga pia nimechanga hivyo nikijua kwamba wanaokuza hili zao ni Meru, Embu na Kirinyaga kidogo. Na kabla hatuja tolea mwananchi ambaye analima kitu chake shambani, ni vizuri tumpatie namna venye ataendelea na maisha yake. Mstahiki Spika, kabla huja kubomoa daraja, funza mwananchi kuogelea. Hapa tunaanza sasa kubomoa daraja mwananchi kabla hatuja kufunza kuogelea. Mstahiki Spika, asante sana Mstahiki Spika.
Senator Roba.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I rise to oppose this bill. Madam Speaker, I grew up in northern Kenya, and Madam Speaker, it's worthwhile to really discuss this issue of miraa and muguka from the context of real life experience of what it is doing to the fabric of the society in our region. Madam Speaker, I sympathize with the farmers of miraa in the regions that grow miraa. God has bestowed them with the right soil and plentiful of rain and water for them to be able to substitute miraa for another crop. What we have witnessed over the years, Madam Speaker, is a situation where, husbands or fathers have abandoned their families and turned mothers into widows, not by way of death of their husbands, but by way of absence of the fathers as a result of them turning themselves completely destroyed by miraa to the extent that they become irresponsible members of the society, while they're only turning back home when their health has deteriorated beyond reproach. Madam Speaker, many children have fallen out of school in northern Kenya. And I will want to speak, limiting my discussion to northern Kenya, because that is where my experience centers in regards to what miraa has done. Madam Speaker, many other vices have gotten encouraged. The illnesses that is resulting from miraa has become unexplained to the population. Madam Speaker, in the wisdom of my brother Murangu who just spoke, the absence of data just only means the fact that nobody bothered to really take care of the issue of finding, to collect data on the level of damage that it has happened. But what we are speaking from is real-time damage of miraa on the fabric of the society, the population, the health, and other vices that would have otherwise be controlled in that region. Madam Speaker, while I sympathize with the farmers, I wish to state, in very categorical terms, that there was a lot of wisdom why miraa was banned in the UK, banned in the US, banned in Europe, where scientific research has taken place. And NACADA, in the wisdom, borrowed that information and carried out and categorized miraa as a very serious drug that is not good for the fabric of the society in this country. Madam Speaker, today we should be discussing what substitute support miraa farmers should be given by the government in terms of making sure they're able to recollect themselves and they get supported through substitute support in terms of subsidy, in terms of support, so that the miraa farmers are able to approach commercial production of other commercial crops. Where miraa does well, macadamia does well, coffee does well, tea does well, and avocados does well. It's not like there is no alternative, Madam Speaker. Now, encouraging a drug that has destroyed the fabric of the society into complete, loss of education, loss of parenthood, and even worse, Madam Speaker, the experience we've seen is reduction, very serious effect on libido in men, where those men that are abusing, completely miraa have become more or less impotent in the context of family structure. Madam Speaker, I believe with conviction that my brother, Senator Kathuri, has sponsored this bill in support of the economic activity of miraa farmers in the region. And he had the wisdom to support. Now, unfortunately, we all represent different regions with different interests. While miraa remains unbanned in this country, the abuse will continue. We may not have the power to stop people from consuming. We may not have the power to stop miraa from being moved from Meru to Mandera County. But it is very critical that we keep on talking about this reality, because the eventual reality is coming to roost, and it has already done. I am not speaking about the Somali community that consumes miraa in northern Kenya. Equally, the Meru, Embu consumers have gotten affected in the same context. It is not selective, it's a drug. And while I oppose the bill, in the strongest term possible, I would wish to persuade the government to really dedicate substantive resources to be able to carry out data on miraa farmers and support them to approach, to be able to replace miraa farming with a different cash crop that is healthy for all of us to consume. I do not want, because people are watching us nationally, I do not want Kenyans to really feel that maybe as leaders we are pitting regions against regions. No, we are not. Our brothers, the Meru, our neighbors, we have a lot of respect for them. The sponsor of this bill is one of the leaders that I have a lot of respect for. However, the state of destruction of this drug, if left unchecked, is going to really consume our communities very badly. While I agree too much of everything, this one is not too much. You start a little bit and family structure is destroyed. And that is the problem that has we've witnessed over the years as we grew up in our region. We've seen, single mothers, not because the husbands have died or they're just absent from their life, and children have failed to go to school. The women have turned up carrying the burden of family structure because the husbands are nowhere to support them. Madam Speaker, I know, there are many other vices that ought to be banned. Maybe the miraa is not an exception in the context of other vices. However, Madam Speaker, there was a lot of wisdom in NACADA categorizing miraa as a drug. There is more scientifically supported wisdom in developed countries that have the capacity to do thorough research on miraa to classify miraa as a drug unwanted in UK, unwanted in the US, unwanted in Europe, unwanted in the Arab world because of the destructive nature of this drug. Madam Speaker, I beg to oppose this motion and request the government to look into alternative means of supporting the miraa farmers to be able to approach or try and substitute miraa farming with other cash crops. because the regions that grow miraa are also the regions that, by wisdom of God, Almighty Allah, are blessed with rightful amount of rainfall, arable land that is able to support the right meteorological weather condition, year-round, favorable temperatures to be able to substitute the drugs. Madam Speaker, I oppose.
Senator Nyamo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I've been listening to contributions by my colleagues, and they seem to miss one thing. This amendment seeks to address the fact that despite miraa being consumed every other day, because my colleagues seem to say based on the effect of miraa on other people, so cathinone and cathin should not be removed from the schedule of being under banned substances in the Narcotics and Psychotropic Act, Madam Speaker. But miraa is still under consumption despite the classification. What is mostly affected, Madam Speaker, it is the value addition, because investors in this crop are not able to get licenses to add value to the crop because of the classification. As it stands, the consumption is still constant, but who suffers most is the people who want to add value. And I think Senator Murungi, what he's doing here through this bill is serious representation of his people. And I think by this bill only, the people of Meru ought to make a decision, because this crop supports over 500,000 families in Meru, directly and indirectly. We have transporters, we have traders, and this is what forms the basis of their livelihood. It pays school fees, and this is all they know. And Senator Murungi, by way of this amendment, is going to unlock another whole economic activity on the using this miraa crop by value addition. Jabba juice is being traded like it's an illegal trade right now. There is all this stigma on the Meru people who trade on miraa because they look like they are dealing with an illegal crop. Yet, it is by all means, and even under the Crops Act 2013, it is scheduled as a legal crop. And this is a contradiction that this bill seeks to remove. So, if you stand here before this House and say that miraa is being abused, whether we pass this amendment or not, miraa will continue to be abused by other people, just like alcohol is being abused by some people. I consume miraa personally. I don't abuse miraa. I do it maybe once in a month, and it is one of those small pleasures of life, Madam Speaker. And just like any other thing, substance that risks being abused, miraa is one of those. So I do not support that we should stand here today and list reasons why or how miraa is being abused in some areas as reasons why we should not declassify cathinone and cathin from the narcotics and psychotropic substances, Madam Speaker. And the World Health Organization, in their studies, they have clearly stated that it is not prone to abuse and the dependency is low. That is science, Madam Speaker. And if that's what science says, then it explains that those who are stuck in the habit are simply abusing it. I want to support, just based on the fact that it is a pillar, an economic pillar, particularly in Meru, in the Nyambene area, just on those grounds that we unlock this value addition that they are seeking to be engaged in, because as of now, you cannot get licensed to process miraa. You have to do it chini ya maji, so to speak. So this House must legislate with courage and with clarity. It is not about stories and experiences of those maybe jobless youth who fall victim to many other practices which in the first place they should not even be engaging in, and unlock, as I have said before, as a GDP, they are rightfully very big GDP contributors in the country. On one hand, we support the crop and the trade. On the other hand, we are collecting taxes from them. On the other hand, we are curtailing the whole ecosystem of miraa by having contradictory laws. We are telling farmers on one hand, grow the crop. And on the other hand, we're telling investors, you cannot process it. And so it is in our hands, this bill, luckily, I want to urge Senator Murungi, lobby members in this House so that we pass this amendment. It is going to bring a great difference in the miraa industry. It is going to bring employment for our youth. It is going to increase the tax base in the country. And with those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I support.
There's no other senator, so the mover may reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, I really want to thank the members who have contributed either positively or negatively to this important motion. I want to start with Senator Chaligei, Senator Modigi, Senator Mohamed Faki, Senator Abbas, Senator Murango, Senator Liloba, and Senator Karen Nyamu. I want to really thank them for giving this motion some time to think and to think through about it. But Madam Speaker, what I have seen, most of the members, those maybe who are not supporting, they don't understand what I'm trying to seek. And I really explained for more than almost 30 minutes the justification. You know, most of the members are discussing whether miraa should be banned from Kenya, from being used in Kenya. That is not the issue. Miraa already is a scheduled crop in the Crop Act 2013. So there is no way, we have no powers unless if somebody will go to amend that section so that it is not a scheduled crop, then miraa will not benefit. Even before 2013, miraa chewing was not illegal. Miraa has been consumed since, I don't know, the creation. Therefore, Madam Speaker, the issue that honorary members have not understood is that we are either agreeing or disagreeing that miraa should be, the bill intends to amend the Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Control Act to remove a substance called cathinone and cathin as naturally found in miraa crop from the classification of psychotropic substances. Cathinone and cathin occurring naturally in the miraa plant is very, very different with that what has been categorized in Schedule 2 as psychotropic substances, as cathinone and cathin. If you go and produce cathinone and cathin in a lab, that is a drug. That is what we are agreeing with that. But the cathinone and cathin occurring in its natural state in miraa, natural state, because if that twig, if you keep it for more than 12 hours, that cathinone and cathin will go. You will not find it. So researchers have found that this crop, the cathinol and cathin, is not harmful at all to the human body. But as many members have contributed and have expressed themselves, if you take in excess, I think that is what is happening in the northeastern. If you take this, anything you take in excess, of course, it will have an effect on you, on your body. And that is why in Kiswahili, Murango was trying to say, Senator Murango, use everything in moderation. If you drink a lot of tea, a lot of milk, you know it will affect your belly, it will affect you. But anything you use in moderation. Senator Cullen, I'm happy that you really support this bill, and you chew even once per month, and you have it has no effect on you. I do it almost weekly or maybe after 2 weeks, even sitting on that chair, Madam Speaker. I've never made any irrational determination or sitting there or whatever I've been doing for the rest of my life, because I use in moderation. Therefore, Madam Speaker, the amendment that I'm seeking, I hope I'll be able to convince more members, and I can see I'll be able to get the required numbers to pass this bill at the second reading during the voting. So, Madam Speaker, I want to really request many people to be patient. I know they've been waiting a bit, and Cullen will really understand, Senator Cullen will really understand. What we are trying to do is actually to make sure that we don't take a lot of Miraa to Northeastern, to Mandera, to Garissa, to Ajia. Once we start valuation, we will have no Miraa left to take outside the Meru. Even for local consumption will be difficult, because we want to open another level. Now we are going on evaluation. So we do wine, we do juice, we do I said again, tea bags, so that people even can stream, can shed weight through that. You know, people are taking nettle grass, wheating grass, yeah, these hibiscus, so that they can be able to use healthy drinks. Miraa also will be healthy drinks, so that it can help control the weight that we have, Madam Speaker. So what we are trying to see is, and to convince members, is if we allow Nakanda to remove these cathinol and cathin from the scheduled list of narcotics, Madam Speaker, we will be able to do now valuation. Whether you want to take the wine or not, it's up to you. Even now we have so many wine shops in this republic. Not everybody goes to that shop to pick a bottle of wine, because if you don't participate, you don't go to the shop. There are so many bars in this country. If you drink beer, you'll go to the bar and drink. So that is why we are saying allow Nakanda to remove these substances from the list, so that now we can do valuation. And have, instead of Miraa going to Northeastern, let that Northeastern people, if you want to buy wine from the shop, buy juice from the shop. I think that will be a good idea, the Senator, good Senator for Mandera County. Because what we are going to do is to mop out all Miraa which is being transported out of Meru. We will do valuation and market our products in Kenya and outside this country, Madam Speaker. There is a lot of wine coming from South Africa. How do they make their wine? You don't know. You don't know. Yeah? People are buying every day. So that is the route that we want to take. So, Madam Speaker, with all these remarks, I really beg to reply, and I beg to move and request that the putting of the question be deferred to a later date pursuant to Standing Order 66.3.
It is so deferred. Next order.
Honorable Senators, because of absence of movers, we are deferring orders number 11 to 16, order number 18, orders number 20 to 37. Honorable Senators, there being no other business on order paper, the Senate stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 6th May 2026 at 9:30 a.m.